Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
Well, a beautiful sunny evening here in North Texas, Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, as the Texas Rangers and the Detroit Tigers getting set to hook it up in game number 2 of this 3-game series. Welcome along, everybody. Along with Tom Green, I'm Steve Busby, sitting in for Dave Barnett. Glad to have you along tonight, and it should be a great matchup. Yu Darvish going the second time now against the Detroit Tigers. A lot of success the first time, and a lot of success here at home.
He's 6-0 at home. He's won every start he's had at home. That's pretty remarkable. He's also won his last 2 starts. He's gone 8 innings in both of those starts. He's thrown the ball better at the end of those games than he has at the beginning. He's concentrating a little bit more on his fastball, which is nice to see. He's got a great assortment of pitches, and after a loss, he's the kind of guy you like to see on the mound for the Rangers when you try to get back on another winning streak.
He sure has shown that he can handle just about whatever is put in front of him in just a little less than half of his first year at the major league level. So Darvish to the hill tonight. He'll be opposed by a young left-hander, Drew Smiley. And the Rangers sending out their own version of the whirling Darvish tonight, hoping he'll spin up a dandy against Detroit. It's the Rangers and the Tigers next on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Ford dealer. You want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Another warm evening at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, and after all, it's summer. And before we get to any further along, let's welcome in Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, as good as the Rangers' pitching has been and will continue to be, hopefully, this team will always be known for its offense. However, to say that it's been struggling lately would be a bit of an understatement, especially by this team's standards. Leaving 32 men stranded over the last 3 games, Mike Napoli knows the bats have got to be better.
We've been struggling as of late. We know that. We try to pick up our end of the deal here to help these guys out, because these guys have been doing a good job keeping us in games and giving us a chance to win. So we've had some injuries, and we have some people stepping up on the pitch staff to keep us in games.
Mike Napoli with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and a team that's been known for that timely hitting just hasn't gotten it over the last few games. Last night, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Obviously, this team looking to bust out of that tonight, guys.
All right, Emily, thank you. And that man right there hopes to be the beneficiary of a breakout night for the offense. Yu Darvish to the hill for his 15th start of the year, and the lineup he will face is put forth by Jim Leland tonight. Austin Jackson leads off. He's the center fielder. Quentin Berry is in left. He bats second. The third baseman, Miguel Cabrera, bats third. Prince Fielder, the cleanup man, is in first base. The DH and hitting fifth, Delman Young. Brennan Bosch in right field bats sixth. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, is seventh. Alex Avila is catching tonight. He hits eighth, and Ramon Santiago, the second baseman, will bat ninth.
Well, check out the Nissan scouting report on Yu Darvish. He's 9-4, solid 3.45 ERA. The 3.45 ERA puts him almost in the top 10. He is in the top 10 in strikeouts, 5th in the American League. He's also tied for the most walks with 49. He's also been one of the toughest to hit, 10th with a 234 opponent's batting average. Season high 122 pitches in his last start in San Diego. And Buzz, I think the best part about 122 pitches, the last 22 were probably better than the first 100. He was still throwing well at the end of that game.
Yes, he was, and he completely overmatched the Padres late in his outing out in San Diego last time. And this is his second outing against the Detroit Tigers. He faced them back on April the 19th at Comerica Park and got a win in that ball game. Rangers won it 10-3. Yu Darvish worked 6 1/3 in that contest. Allowed only 2 hits. That did have 5 walks, but he was able to get the win. And tonight trying to repeat, and he will start off facing Austin Jackson. Jackson, a 3-11 hitter, and Yu Darvish for the first pitch of the night. And the fastball is high for ball 1.
As well as Yu pitched in San Diego, he walked a couple of guys in the first inning. He walked 3 for the game, but 2 of them came right off the bat in the first inning. Obviously settled down after that.
And he falls behind Austin Jackson here. 2 balls and no strikes. That was last Wednesday. He defeated the Padres, won his 9th ball game of the year. 8 punch-outs, and he has been a strikeout machine for the Rangers this year. 2-0 pitch. And that's a strike, according to Gary Darling. Almost half of,
Go ahead, Buzz.
I was going to say almost half of his hits, as you'll note, for extra bases. The last 27 hits, 13 of them, more than 1 bagged. 2-1. And it's 2-2.
I think the other thing you might see right off the bat after 3 pitches is how he's maturing as a hitter, a lot like Elvis. His first couple of years in the big leagues, 2-0, he might have been wailing away at that fastball. He was taken all the way to get the count to 2-1. And it wasn't taken all the way for strike 2. That was a slider he just wasn't looking for.
And Darvish coming inside with that fastball and almost got in on the hands of Austin Jackson, but he's able to check his swing and the count goes full. So Jackson trying to lead off by getting aboard as he did in last night's ball game. Quentin Berry is hitting second. He's waiting in the on-deck circle. Darvish with the payoff pitch on the way. Outside, ball 4, and Jackson draws the leadoff walk. Now behind Yu Darvish tonight, Rangers have this defensive alignment. Nelson Cruz is in left tonight. Josh Anderson in center. Brandon Snyder, the start in right field. Mike Napoli in first. Kinsler and Andrews up the middle. Adrian Beltre at the hot corner. And Darvish throwing to Yorvik Torrealba. Umpires tonight, the crew chief Gary Darling in his 26th year out of San Francisco behind the plate. Paul Emmel at first, Scott Berry at second, Jerry Meals over at third. The one on, nobody out. Austin Jackson at first, very good speed, and another guy with very good speed at the plate. The first pitch to Quentin Berry is low and inside for ball one. Something the Tigers, other than Austin Jackson in the last couple of years, haven't had is a lot of team speed. Jim Leland happy to have a guy like Quentin Berry come up and do a good job of getting on base and using that speed. And Darvish misses badly high and outside. That's going to bring a visit from Yorvi Torrealba.
They've thrown 8 pitches, only 2 for strikes.
Now, early in the game like this, a lot of the time, a catcher has a much better idea of what's going on mechanically. He sees the alignment and the extension the pitcher's getting down the line. And the more you handle somebody, I think the more you're able to go out there and say, hey, here's what I'm seeing, and can you please change it so we can get a ball in the strike zone? Now the 2-0 pitch. And he did get that in the strike zone. A good fastball on the inside part.
Yeah, both Cabrera and Fielder are hot right now. They're swinging the bats great. So last thing you want to do is open up the game with a couple of men on base for both of those guys.
Darvish, a check of Jackson at first. He'll go that way with a toss. Tom Brookins, the first base coach over there, having a word with Austin Jackson, reminding Jackson of possibly the better pickoff move that Darvish has. And a good fastball in at the knees. It's 2-2. Tigers on the base paths have stolen only 33 bases, but Berry at the plate has 12 of them, and Jackson has 7 of them. So these two guys, 20 of the 33 swipes that Detroit has had this year. Got him swinging. Good fastball at 96 down in the zone. And Quentin Berry making that walk back to the dugout as the first out.
That Berry's thinking, where did that 96-mile-an-hour fastball come from all of a sudden? It's been 92. It looks like it's right down the center of the plate, which it was, but it's at 96 miles an hour with tailing action to it, too. So the movement and the velocity overcame the location of that pitch. And Berry has struck out a lot for a top-of-the-order guy. He's also probably given them a lot more production than they ever thought he would when they signed him as a minor league free agent.
Now there goes Jackson. The pitch up and in, and it got Miguel Cabrera. And Cabrera looking out at Darvish as if to say, what is going on? Now having a talk with Torrealba, who helps him to his feet. And Darvish, a pitch up and in, and boy, Cabrera lucky to get out of the way of that.
Yeah, that ball, that's just so far out of the strike zone. There's no way you can anticipate a pitch being there.
Well, that's the 6th hit batsman that Darvish has had this year. Elvis Andrews talking to Yu Darvish and trying to settle him down a little bit. That will unnerve, especially a younger pitcher. And you know, Darvish with all the experience over in Japan, but a little bit different over here.
That ball's right at his head. You know, you get a ball thrown up there. It's not a matter of whether you're hurt or not. It's a matter of kind of getting your thoughts back together again after your life flashes in front of your eyes. Hate to see that.
The runners at first and second, still just 1 out, and Prince Fielder will come to the plate. I know one thing, that's going to stick with Cabrera for a while, that thought of that fastball coming up noggin high.
Well, Darvish, other than the fastball that he threw to Berry, his best shot at throwing a strike is his cutter. He's thrown that for a strike several times, and that's what he started Fielder off with.
That slow ball at 71 miles an hour, and Fielder able to check his swing. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. See the numbers on Prince Fielder, and 378 on base percentage. And day in and day out, you know Fielder's going to show up, be in the lineup, and be a productive hitter. 1-1 to him. And that's inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The folks often, the first time they see Yu Darvish, say, why in the world is he working from a stretch all the time? He works from a stretch with nobody on. It all started in that game in Detroit back on the 19th of April. He was having trouble mechanically, getting comfortable from the windup, so he made an adjustment that he had made several times in Japan. That pitch is outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. And that's to work from the stretch all the time, and he has just stuck with it. Since the 5th inning in Detroit back in April, he's been full-time from the stretch. People on base or people not. Jackson, the runner at second. Miguel Cabrera over at first. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Prince Fielder. Foul back. And the count is full.
A lot of times 3-2, especially struggling with his fastball command, you'll see him break off a nasty hook. I wouldn't be surprised a bit if that's what Fielder sees right here. After he hit Cabrera, fastballs have been few and far between to Fielder. Last pitch looked like a splitter that was up that he fouled off.
Darvish, you check the runners. The payoff pitch, they're on the move. Line to left center field. That's down for a hit. Jackson around third. He will score as the ball goes to the wall. Cabrera being waved around, and Prince Fielder pulling in at second with a 2-run double, and the Tigers, just like last night, jump out to an early 2-0 lead.
Well, he tried the same thing to Fielder that he did to Barry. The fastball down the middle of the plate at 95 miles an hour. Only a different hitter batting fourth than his batting second. The Fielder was all over this fastball. This comes back near the center of the plate. And the Fielder jumps on it. Well, you get yourself in trouble with leadoff walk and a hit batter. You can give up a double, but not after that.
Well, 1 away. Fielder at second. Delman Young, the designated hitter, takes outside for ball 1. Young at 263, and one of the guys that the Tigers really feel they have to get going if this Detroit ball club is going to climb back into things. Pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Buzz, we're talking about the game in San Diego that Darvish finished so strong in that game, but he walked 2 guys back to back in the first inning. The difference is he's facing a lineup now with Prince Fielder as the hitter that comes up in that situation. San Diego didn't have that kind of a hitter in the middle of the lineup, and he pitched right through it. They just don't really have a threat in that lineup. So don't get away with it against Cabrera, Fielder. Those guys can hit.
The 2-1 pitch to Young. That was up in the zone a bit and thrown right on by Delman Young. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yu Darvish about ready to throw his 23rd pitch here in the first inning. Still just 1 out. And the Ranger right-hander checking the runners a couple of times. Ground ball right to the second baseman, Ian Kinsler. On to first. That's out number 2. On to third on the plate with Prince Fielder. He's there with 2 outs, and Brennan Bosch coming up. Well-placed Ranger defensive alignment playing Delman Young up the middle. Ian Kinsler had a ball hit right to him. Now the right fielder Bosch, and he has been struggling. He has hit much better away from Detroit than he has at home, and a lot of folks think that he might be putting a little extra pressure on himself. Looks at the breaking ball that stays outside for ball 1. Bosch, of course, had that game last June here in this ballpark. 5 hits, couple of home runs, 5 RBI. 1-0 pitch, and it's 2-0.
Boy, high pitch count in the first inning has kind of been the name of the game for the Rangers lately. Even Matt Harrison the other night was throwing the ball well, got a win. He had a big first inning as far as pitch count goes.
And that ball very high and outside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. So Darvish has been behind 4 of the 5 hitters he has, or 4 of the 6 hitters he's faced. At least 2 balls and no strikes.
He's thrown 11 strikes and 15 balls.
Prince Fielder, the runner down at third. He had the big 2-run double here in the first inning. That's a strike on the inside corner. Fielder, by the way, now has upped his RBI total to 48. He is second on the Tiger Club. Miguel Cabrera, second in baseball with 59 RBI, trailing Josh Hamilton, who has 66. The 3-1 pitch. Fouled back. So Darvish is able to come back from a 3-0 count to fill the count to Brennan Bosch. If Bosch is able to prolong the inning, the shortstop Johnny Peralta waits in the on-deck circle.
Well, if he can limit the damage to 2 runs, that's playable. Last night, Justin just couldn't limit the damage, and it turned out to be a 5-run inning. But you want to keep that 3rd run from scoring.
The 3-2. Swung on, hit in the air to right field. Snyder started back, now comes on. And Brandon Snyder makes the catch. Side retired, but Prince Fielder gets the Tigers on the board. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 left. Half an inning in the books. It's the Tigers 2, the Rangers coming up on. It for the Rangers. Here's the lineup that will try to make up the ground of a 2-0 deficit. Ian Kinsler leads off. Elvis Andrus is next. Josh Hamilton playing in center field tonight hits third. Adrian Beltre at third base. Michael Young is the DH tonight. Playing left field, batting 6th, Nelson Cruz. Mike Napoli at first. Yorvi Torrealba behind the plate. He hits 8th. And the right fielder, Brandon Snyder, bats 9th. And 23-year-old left-hander Drew Smiley goes to work and throws a strike.
I'll check out the Nissan scouting report on Drew Smiley. He's 2-2 at an ERA under 4. 58 strikeouts, pretty good total. 8.2 per 9 innings. Solid number. Rangers saw him earlier in the year. He threw the ball great. 2011 Tigers minor league pitcher of the year. That was his only minor league season. 126 innings last year. 2nd round pick out of the University of Arkansas. Had a good changeup when we saw him. Pretty good breaking ball. Sneaky fastball. Rangers have seen a lot of good young left-handers this year. Chen for Baltimore, Malone for Oakland. Probably the best of all of them was Wade Miley from Arizona. That might be the closest thing to Steve Carlton. I mean, he wasn't throwing quite as hard. His breaking ball maybe wasn't quite as hard, but that breaking ball that he was throwing was a lot like that slider that Steve Carlton threw, the hard downer breaking ball.
One that hitters had a tough time picking up until it was too late.
Yeah. That kid's going to be in the All-Star game.
1-2 pitch to Kinsler. Kins sings and drives one to left field. Going back is Barry. He's looking up. Goodbye. Ian Kinsler, a leadoff home run, and the Rangers cut the deficit in half. It's a 2-1 Tiger lead.
Well, it's hard to know exactly what momentum means in sports, but after last night's game and after the first inning, Darvish at least limited the damage to 2 runs, and right off the bat, Ian hits the home run, gets the crowd in the game, gets everybody pumped up on the bench. And that's one of the benefits of having a guy like Ian in the leadoff spot. One swing of the bat, and he can do that. And that's a nice thing to see right off the bat, to get one of those runs back.
Here's Elvis taking a strike. Smiley trying to throw that cut fastball inside to Kinsler, and Ian said, no, not in my yard this time. Off speed, and that's a little bit low. And Elvis has a 1-ball, 1-strike count on. Andrus hitting in an even 300. And on-base percentage continuing to be impressive at 376.
Well, Smiley started out the year, after his first 6 starts, his ERA was 1.59. He had a lot of no decisions. He was 1-0. His last 6 starts, though, have been just the opposite. His ERA has been 6.67. And then he went on the disabled list with a bad blister on his hand. He had a rehab start, and this is his first big league start since being on the disabled list with a blister. Before going on the disabled list, he was struggling pretty well in his last 6 starts.
3-1 pitch is low, and Elvis draws the walk. Just like that, a home run, and now a walk, and Josh Hamilton coming up. We'll take a look at the Tiger defense behind Drew Smiley tonight. Brenner Bosch in right, Austin Jackson in center, Quentin Berry in left. Fielder at first, Santiago and Peralta up the middle, and Miguel Cabrera at third. Alex Avila is handling Drew Smiley. And right now, Smiley having a little trouble bouncing back from Ian Kinsler's 3rd leadoff home run of the year and the 23rd of his career. The walk to Andrus, and here's Hamilton, who homered last night. He also homered off Smiley in Detroit, that series back in April.
I think one of the things that young players find, rookie players find, is how hard it is to maintain a high level of performance over 6 months. You can go through some spurts, but I think it hits you, and maybe that hit Smiley too after his first 6 starts, how difficult it is to do it start after start or at bat after at bat. Just a mental grind, a physical grind of playing every day. They're not used to playing that much baseball. The pressure. Yeah, a lot of cases, that's what separates big league players from being stars and going by the wayside.
A ball and a strike to Josh. There goes Elvis. The pitch is outside. The throw to second base is in time. Elvis shot down with Alex Avila's throw to Johnny Peralta right on the money. So Andrus caught for the 4th time this year in 17 attempts.
Now, Ron Washington loves aggressiveness on the bases, and he'll always lean toward watching the player get thrown out. It doesn't bother him. But in that situation, you've got a home run, a walk, behind in the count 2-1. You give Smiley a chance to kind of get a breather by getting an out without really getting anybody out. I think you got to make sure you have a good jump that you can steal that base under those circumstances. That would have been ball 3 right there.
And Josh Hamilton getting a new piece of lumber, and he has a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another fan. You're getting more fans getting Josh Hamilton bats in the stands than they are foul balls.
It's hard to come up with a bat because everybody can get a piece of that bat.
Yeah, you're right.
A ball pretty much goes in one person's hands. A bat can go in several.
Pitch outside. The count has gone full. So Josh Hamilton with 1 out. Trying to keep this good start for the Rangers going. Adrian Beltre, the cleanup hitter. And the hot cleanup hitter is waiting in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch rolled weakly out to second base. Santiago, the fielder, and Hamilton is retired. There are 2 gone, and Adrian's coming up. Beltre, the one guy, is Barger over the bat. The one guy that in the lineup tonight that didn't play against Drew Smiley back in April. So he hasn't had the benefit of facing Smiley at all. But he is the hottest Ranger hitter going right now. Look at that batting average. It's approaching 330.
So Josh has always had pitchers throw him off-speed pitches. And in the past, we've seen him launch the bat like that. But not at the rate he's launching them this year. There's something different this year as far as letting the bat go, because it's just happening more and more often.
Ball and a strike.
I'm not sure what that means. Strike is a strike, but fans like it.
Now he's averaging at least one a game. And the pitch misses to Beltre. It's 2 balls and a strike. The asking price for those tickets right over the Ranger dugout too went up. 2-1 pitch, and that's at the knees. It's 2-2. Beltre, a 6-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Smiley back to it. Just barely tapped foul. Let's take a look at the Ford leaderboard. The American League leaders in batting average. Mike Trout. Paul Konerko had been up there, but he's fallen back of late. Adrian Beltre only 10 points behind Trout. Mauer and Hamilton round out the top 5. The Ford leaderboard. Way inside, and Beltre skipping rope to get out of that Smiley pitch. That cut fastball almost cut the legs out from underneath Adrian Beltre. Drew Smiley had his pitch count go up a little bit here. Adrian still has the quickest feet of any batter I've seen.
I bet she can dance.
Yeah. Hard hit ground ball, flagged down by Peralta. Nice play by the Tigers shortstop. That'll do it, but Ian Kinsler's leadoff home run gets the Rangers on the board in the first. A run on a hit, nobody left after 1. It's Detroit 2 and Texas 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Johnny Peralta starting off the top of the second inning, fouls off the first Yu Darvish pitch. Tigers leading the Rangers 2-1. It'll be the bottom third of the Tiger order to face Yu Darvish, who's trying to right the ship after a rather rocky first inning, a 29-pitch first inning. The 0-1 pitch to Peralta, and that's a little bit outside. A ball and a strike. Peralta, 4 home runs, 20 driven in. His batting average on the rise. He's been a better hitter of late. And on base percentage also coming up for the Tigers shortstop. That softer of the 2 sliders that he throws, and Darvish missed with that a little bit high. It's 2-1. Darvish still a negative ratio of balls to strikes. Negative in the sense that it's not where you want it. 17 balls, 15 strikes. And that's chopped foul, third base side. A lot's been made about Yu Darvish facing a team for the second time through, and I just have a hard time buying into that from the standpoint that it's not like he's only a 2-pitch pitcher that throws the same sequence every time he pitches. He's got so many weapons that. There's a line drive. Nice play by Napoli, diving to his right to take a hit away from Peralta.
Yeah, every pitcher at some point in time has to start facing the same teams more than once. And the better your stuff, the better chance you've got to succeed doing that. It's pretty much as simple as that. And so this is the second time he's faced the Tigers, but the fact that it's the second time has nothing to do with a walk and a hit batter that ended up scoring.
Right.
If he throws his game and makes his pitches, he can get the Tigers out or any other team if he faces them every day.
I agree with you.
Look at the success pitchers have in interdivisional play where you play each other 6 times.
Right.
We'll face Felix Hernandez 6 times. If he's throwing good, we're not going to hit him.
Yep.
And we've got great hitters.
And a slow breaking ball to Alex Avila. Avila did not play in last night's ball game. He had spent some time on the disabled list with the hamstring issues. Back in there now. Off to a slow start offensively for the Tigers this year. The 0-1 pitch from Darvish. Right at Ian Kinsler. He just gobbles that one up. Sidearm to Napoli. That's out number 2. Let's say hello to Jim Knox. Jim.
All right. Thank you, Steve. We got Christine on the line with her mom watching at home. Should have been out here, Mom. Christina's having a great time. Everybody having a nice time in Community Corner tonight. We're talking about over 400 youth baseball players from the RBI program, also Boys and Girls Club and Mercy Street, take part in youth baseball clinics over at the Texas Rangers Youth Baseball Park. That's where they get to meet players and coaches. Great clinics. To find out more, log on to TexasRangers.com. Steve?
All right, Jim, thank you. Ramon Santiago, the switch hitting second baseman up there. And, Yu Darvish now has thrown a couple of those lollipop curveballs that have found the strike zone early in the count to both Avila and now Santiago.
The thing comes in slow, but it breaks sharp.
0-1 pitch. And it's 0-2. Well, Yu Darvish has an amazing ability to make the ball spin fast. And that's what allows him to be able to throw a pitch that's that slow, but it's still spinning very fast. And so it breaks sharp. Most guys can't throw a ball that slow and make it spin quickly. 0-2 pitch to Santiago. In the dirt, swung and missed. And Torrealba tosses on to Napoli. A 1-2-3 inning. Darvish gets a punch out. He has 2 in the ball game. And we have played an inning and a half. It's the Tigers 2, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers with you. To subscribe to MLB.tv today, and you'll see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, it's baseball everywhere. Bottom of the second inning, Michael Young, Nelly Cruz, and Mike Napoli to face the 23-year-old left-hander Drew Smiley, who throws a strike. Michael handling the DH chores. That average down to 269, and that's the lowest it has been in Michael's career since 2002, this late in the year. He has not had a sub-270 average, and that's why. 178 in the last 11 ball games. Well, you know that the second half of the season, starting anytime soon now, somebody's going to pay. Michael Young has got a track record that says that he may have slumps that last for a little while, but when he comes out of it, guys' ERAs tend to go up. 3 balls and a strike now as Smiley not showing the same kind of command of the strike zone that he did in Detroit, at least not yet. The 3-1 pitch on the way to Young. Cabrera, a couple of steps to his left, unleashes the throw, and Young is out. Corner to corner, one away for Nelson Cruz. Nelly Cruz stepping in on a pretty good roll of late. He has gotten himself going. He had that 2-home run game here over the weekend against Colorado. Been a .357 hitter in the first 4 games of this homestand. And he takes the first pitch from Smiley. It's a bit low for ball 1. Cruz against Smiley in April had a walk and a couple of strikeouts. And the left-hander throws an off-speed pitch that catches the inside corner. Nelly Cruz breakdown against lefties and righties. He's had a lot more success average-wise. You get a big swing and a foul back there. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yep, that's the one Nelly, I'm sure he's thinking in his mind, man, I'd let a good one escape right there.
2-2. Does that really make you mad as a hitter?
Yeah.
When no one's right there.
Because you know you're not going to get that many of them, and when you do, you hate to miss them. But it's coming in 92 miles an hour. It's not that easy.
It was a hard hit ball, but on one hop to Peralta. 2 gone.
You know, there's games where guys will throw a shutout, and we'll say, he just never threw the ball near the middle of the plate. But if you go back and look at that game, there's still 7 or 8 pitches in the middle of the plate. Yep. You can't throw a game without doing that.
Well, Ranger fan Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit www.hometownkids.tv for more information. A lot of kids now out watching Ranger baseball with school being out and summer in full effect. Strike 1 is thrown to Mike Napoli. Here's a foul tip. You've got a pretty good piece of Alex Avila. No balls and 2 strikes to Knapp. Mike brings a 4-game hitting streak into the contest tonight. He has shown signs, especially the last couple of games, of being able to drive the ball to right field and pull the ball down the left field line and everywhere in between. So that's a good sign for Napoli. Kind of reminiscent of what he was able to do starting July 1st of last year, when he became the hottest hitter in all of baseball the last 4 months of the season. And on into the postseason, as a matter of fact. The 0-2 pitch. He was able to poke that one foul back to the screen. It's still 0-2. During his 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 16 with that home run and an RBI. Smiley back to him. Up the ladder he went, and Napoli got off a rung early. Side retired, 1, 2, 3 for Drew Smiley. On to the third we go. The Tigers 2, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Save you 50% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. On we go to the top of the third inning. A strike is thrown to the leadoff man, Austin Jackson. Jackson led off the game by walking against Darvish. And he looks at a pitch low and outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson came around to score, as did Miguel Cabrera on the 2-run Prince Fielder double. That's the difference in the ball game. 2-1 Detroit. That's out of play to the right.
Yeah, Darvish was all over the place to the first 4 hitters, especially the first and third hitters, when he walked Jackson and hit Cabrera. But since Fielder's doubled, he's retired 5 in a row. Looks like he's right back where he wants to be.
He's ahead of Jackson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way from Darvish. Just off the outside corner. 93-mile-an-hour fastball with a little bit of a cut to it. And the count is even. I still have a hard time thinking of a right-hander, Tom. I mean, maybe you can think of somebody that can make the ball move both ways the way that I see you Darvish doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what he can do with the ball.
Got him swinging. Breaking ball, and Jackson becomes the 3rd strikeout of the evening for Yu Darvish. 1 away, and Quentin Berry coming up. Well, Saturday, August the 4th, the UFC returns to Fox with 4 massive fights, including knockout artist Showrun Wong. He's taking on Brandon Vera. UFC Fight Night on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. It's live from Los Angeles, and that's Saturday, August the 4th at 7 p.m. Central Time. 1 away. Here's Berry, who is a strikeout victim his first time up. Bunts through a Darvish fastball. It's 0-1.
That got to be a tough way of making a living, don't you think?
UFC?
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, sir.
I wonder what the shelf life of one of those guys is.
Slow breaking ball, and Berry pulled the bat back. It's 1-1. I don't know, but trying to get insurance.
Yeah, their health insurance and their life insurance has to be pretty high premium if you can even get it.
How about dental insurance?
Man,
try to get
those
that.
Those guys are incredible athletes.
There's that slow breaking ball, and that found the back door wide open. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Berry.
Yeah, the strikes are starting to flow now. He retired 6 in a row, last 2 on strikes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when Yu Darvish has his press conference after the ball game to see whether this was a physical or mental adjustment. I'm kind of curious about that. I want to hear what his answer might be to that. The 1-2 pitch to Berry. Kinsler charging a slowly hit ground ball. Nice play by Kins. That's out number 2. And it's 7 in a row sent down by Darvish and his teammates to bring up Miguel Cabrera. Now this matchup will be interesting. I want to see what happens if Darvish throws Cabrera a breaking ball that starts at his shoulder and breaks over the plate. Cabrera might be leaving to go to third base.
The good thing about facing Cabrera right now is there's 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah.
So it's a little more comfortable anyway.
In case you folks missed it, joining us maybe a little bit late, Cabrera narrowly missed getting beamed his first time up. He got hit by the pitch, but that pitch was right at his helmet. And it was one of those fastballs that no matter which way Cabrera went, it was fouling him. First pitch from Darvish. That's hit high in the air down the right field line. And Brandon Snyder in to make the catch. 8 straight sent down by Yu Darvish and the Rangers. We finished 2.5 in Arlington, 2-1 Detroit. Turn back the clock to 1994, and the first 30,000 fans will receive a 40th anniversary mug, compliments of Coca-Cola. Game time at 6:15. Minnesota Twins are in town, and you can reserve your seat at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. A lot of 40th anniversary stuff going on. Appreciate the folks at Coca-Cola providing that mug, and a whole summer full of reminiscing. And watching this new version of the Rangers try to get back to the World Series for the 3rd straight year. Torey Alba takes a strike. Your beat, batting 8th and hitting a .228 for the year. Smiley back to him, and that pitch all the way to the backstop after it pinballed off of both of Alex Avila's shin guards and probably got the umpire to boot. Gary Darling back there giving Drew Smiley kind of a tough look. Said, hey, don't be bouncing balls over here by my feet. A ball and a strike. Smiley back to Torrealba. Free hopper hit out to Peralta. And Torrealba shot down. That's out number 1. Well, folks, in case you happen to miss it, just joining us, a roster move by the Rangers today. Colby Lewis put on the 15-day DL. He's got a little bit of tendonitis in his right forearm. And 21-year-old left-hander Martin Perez called up from AAA Round Rock. 5-5 with a 4.59 was Perez down there. But his last couple of starts have been very, very good. 16 innings of work. He's allowed a grand total of 4 hits. 4 hits in 16 innings. That's,
Scott Feldman is back in the rotation, and Perez is a long man. Michael Kirkman threw 80 pitches last night, so he's going to be unavailable for a couple of days. So they have to have someone out there in case you need a long man.
Brandon Snyder drives one high and deep to right field. Jackson and Bosch going over. Bosch up against the wall at the 377 mark. And he's able to make the grab for out number 2. Before Ian Kinsler steps in, let's say hello again to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, if you want to find a silver lining on this dark injury cloud, point no further than John Daniels, who said these top prospects are getting a healthy dose of life in the big leagues.
That's what we're about. We're going to promote our deserving players when an opportunity is there and give them a chance to grab it by the horns and run. And to their credit, I think each of them have. There are going to be hiccups like there were last night with Justin, rough outings and rough days, but when these guys put the work in and show aptitude and show progress, we're going to keep giving them the opportunity.
And one good thing for Martin Perez, I asked him if motivation did him some good when Justin Grimm and Tanner Shepard got called up before him. He said, absolutely, I was happy for those guys, but it made me want it even more. So looks like he'll get his shot sooner rather than later, guys.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, it's amazing how that works. You think you're going along fine, everything's great, and somebody else gets called up and you say, wait a minute, what about me? Maybe I better pitch better. Pitch to Kinsler is high, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Ian led the game off for the Rangers tonight by hitting his 8th home run this year, his 3rd leadoff home run off Drew Smiley. Now has a 3-0 count and takes a strike on the inside corner. Smiley not quite as efficient as he was in Detroit. That's the 5th time now that he's had a 3-ball count on a Ranger hitter. And Kinsler going after a pitch, fouls it straight back just below us.
A few people to say hello to and a few people to thank here, Buzz.
Okay.
We've got some people, the good people at Eden Estates Senior Living in Bedford, Texas, sent up a huge batch of cookies. Thank you very much. And Michael Palmer sent up a beautiful statue of Josh Hamilton that he made. We'll get a look at that a little later if we have a chance.
Ian Kinsler, a little looper. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Kins 2 for 2. He's aboard with a 2-out single. As a matter of fact, Kinsler has both Ranger hits tonight.
Fought off that pitch on the inside part of the plate and looped it into right field. Take a look at it right here. High breaking ball for the base hit. We want to thank the people at Eden Estates for the cookies. Thank you, Michael Palmer, for the statue of Josh. There's also someone we want to say hello to there. Lucille Fleming is 100 years old and watches most of the Ranger games. I hope you're watching right now, Lucille. Thank you for being such a Ranger fan. And thank you to everybody at the Eden Estates.
Congratulations, Lucille. 100 years. That's great.
You got a pretty good shot of living to 100, Buzz. They say we all do. Once you get as old as we are, they say your chances are better.
Yeah, then it's easier then. Okay. Fly ball to right field. Off the bat of Elvis Andrews. Brennan Bosch camps under it, puts it away, and the Rangers are gone. The 2-out single by Ian Kinsler is wasted in the 3rd. After 3 complete, Tigers 2, Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. all their runs in the first, as did the Rangers. 2-1 Tigers. Prince Fielder that did the damage in the first inning with that 2-run double. That's the only hit that Yu Darvish has given up through the first 3 frames. And it's 3 punch-outs, and he will face the man who stung him in the first, Prince Fielder. And there's that big slow breaking ball for strike 1.
And the first inning, he wasn't able to throw that for a strike. Once he got out of the first inning, limited the damage to 2 runs. He came out and now he's throwing it for a strike.
That curveball coming in at sub-speed limit pace on I-35. It's 68 miles an hour. And the next pitch is a little bit high to Fielder. It's 1-1. Note that Fielder's RBI total updated there to 48. Hard hit ground ball, but pulled foul by Prince Fielder. It's 1-2.
Want to thank Jim and Tanya Dalt from Electra, Texas. They sent up a couple of bags of sugared pecans. Thank you very much. Emily Williams sent up some peanut butter fudge. An old family recipe. Wants to say hello to her best friend Nell Noonan, home watching the game. So hello, Nell, from Emily Williams.
1-2 pitch. Hit well, almost in the same spot that Fielder went to before. Deep left center field, and that ball's gone. The first one bounced one time before it hit the wall. This one bounced one time after it hit the wall in the Tigers bullpen. And it's Prince Fielder 3, Texas 1.
Now, he took the first curveball in that at bat for a strike, but he jumped all over the curveball that time. Showed it to him a couple of times. This curveball stayed up, and Fielder goes the other way with it. Didn't have quite the same bite to it. Didn't come down. Stayed up above the knees, and Fielder took care of the rest.
And here's Delman Young taking outside for ball 1. That is one strong man, Prince Fielder. Waved at and missed, and it's 1-1. 410 feet into that left center field bullpen for the Tigers by Prince Fielder. His 12th home run of the year, now 49 RBI.
Ken Gilly from Weatherford, Texas, brought by some Ranger cookies. Got them at a bakery in Weatherford, Texas. Wants to say hello to James Gilly from Azle. That's his dad, who's 78 years old today. Happy birthday. Dad was a tanker truck driver. Delivered milk to all the local dairies throughout North Texas. Got a baseball cake from Daley and Karina Warren from Mount Pleasant. Thank you very much. Want to wish a happy 69th birthday to John Foster from Henderson, Texas. John, hope you're watching. John's the dad of Doug Foster, our statistician. Happy 69th birthday today.
And Delman Young, wave and a miss, and he becomes the 4th strikeout for Yu Darvish tonight. And before Brenner Bosch steps in, let's send it over again to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Look who we have here. Karen Morris of the Texas Rangers, here to talk about the Texas Rangers Foundation baseball and softball grant program. Time is running out, right?
Exactly. We are here to help foster and further the dreams of Little Leaguers and softball players across our territory, and want to make sure that fans who are in need of support for their youth baseball or softball organizations make sure they apply for a grant. The deadline is June 30th. That's this Saturday. So fans need to go to texasrangers.com/foundation to look for information on the application to fill it out so that we can help their youth baseball and softball programs continue to grow and prosper.
There we go. Thanks for that update. Great thing doing for the baseball and softball youth programs. Good to have you, Karen. Thank you. Steve?
All right, Jim. Karen, thank you. 0-1 the count to Brennan Bosch. Yu Darvish fires a knee-high strike. It's 0-2. Bosch, a fly ball to right field. His first time to the plate. He is now 0 for his last 9 trips. Torrealba flashing the signs out. Yu Darvish trying to find one that suits him. And now Torrealba says, wait a minute. Let me recycle these. Boss says, you guys go ahead and do that. I'm going to step out here for a second. Yu agrees to that pitch. The 0-2 offering. A late swing, a defensive swing by Bosch. It's still 0-2.
Plus, I mentioned that statue that Michael Palmer had made. Didn't get a chance to show it. The Josh Hamilton statue. Great bit of workmanship. Thank you, Michael, for sending that. We're going to bring that down to give to Josh after the game tonight.
Again, the 0-2, and that's in the dirt.
He's making sure he buried that hard curveball that time after leaving one up to fielder. He made the mistake of walking a guy and hitting a guy before fielders double the first time. And then you can probably get away with that curveball that he threw fielder to most of the guys in the lineup. But he kept the curveball up to the one guy in the lineup, one of the guys in the lineup that could do that.
And Bosch is swinging a miss. Troy Alba probably get fined in Kangaroo Court. He was ready to go into the dugout, and he remembered that was only the second out. Back-to-back strikeouts. Well, folks, join us at On the Border for dinner every Wednesday night now through August the 8th, and enter win free Ranger tickets. Visit iloveontheborder.com for more details. The 5 strikeouts in the game for now for Darvish, and Johnny Peralta will step in. Peralta hit the ball very sharply his first time, but Mike Napoli, the Ranger first baseman, made a great stab as he went to the ground, playing well off the line at first, which is what enabled him to get to that first Peralta line drive. Pitch is outside for ball 1. Season numbers for Peralta below what you're accustomed to seeing from the very talented shortstop. Big swing and a miss. Peralta, of course, spending the majority of his career with the Cleveland Indians. Came up originally in 2003. Had some great years in Cleveland. Went to Detroit midway through the 2010 season. You can see the home-road split. Much better in Detroit. Waved at and missed. Pretty good breaking ball by Darvish.
You can just see the different ways that his breaking ball breaks and the different speeds. He'll throw a cutter that's in the upper 80s. That slider's a bigger pitch in the lower 80s. Throw a curveball in the high 60s. He'll throw a hard one in the high 70s. Some break sharper, some break bigger.
Darvish in the 1-2 pitch. Hit to right field, hit pretty well, going back as Snyder. He has room before he gets to the warning track and makes the catch. Prince Fielder's leadoff home run gets the Tigers on the board once again. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Detroit on Fox Sports Southwest. trivia question. Tonight, the question is, what was the first season the Rangers had 2 All-Star Game starters, and who were they? Interesting question. Considering the All-Star Game coming up in a couple of weeks up in Kansas City, the Rangers have at least 2 that the fans are going to vote as starters in that game. Maybe 3, possibly 4. We'll give you half an inning to ponder that. And we'll give you the answer shortly. Josh Hamilton, Adrian Beltre, and Michael Young. Trio of present and former All-Stars to face Drew Smyly. And Hamilton going after the first pitch and hits it out of play to the left. Josh a ground out to second base his first time up. Last night, of course, that home run into the Ranger bullpen, over the Ranger bullpen. Just his second home run in the month of June. And speaking of that home run, Brian Villarreal and cleared the Ranger bullpen and fan out there a pretty good souvenir. 2 balls and a strike now as you look at those numbers on this homestand for Josh. Very, very tough homestand. And the 9 strikeouts, that prompted Josh to have to try to explain what's going on. That's out of play to the left, and it's 2-2. He said his timing. Basically, what it came down to was his timing was all messed up. He said he was either starting his routine in the swing too soon or too late. Couldn't get it right. It looks like he's feeling a little better right now, though.
Yeah, you know, you can ask that question of a hitter who's struggling pretty much all you want. And if he's not hurt or he's not sick, then it boils down to his timing.
Right.
That's what's wrong.
Yep.
When you lose your timing, you lose your confidence.
Riley Jones is going to weigh in on this too, Em.
Well, you guys are exactly right, and here's Josh actually elaborating on it a little bit more.
Starting on time is a big key. If I start too early, start too late, then I'm pretty much screwed at bat, unless I make the adjustment while the bat's going on. And right now I'm not in a position to make the adjustment when the bat's going on. So, and if I start on time, then everything is getting as deep as it needs to get.
And I did ask Josh if he's tired of hearing the word patience. He said, actually, I've been hearing it since I was 3 years old, so I'm kind of used to it. But he admitted that it's part of it. He's got to be more patient at the plate, but you don't want to be too patient because then that takes away his aggressiveness. So sure. All a very fine balance, as you guys know, in the game of baseball.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, it's interesting to hear how guys go about analyzing things, not only when they're going poorly, but when they're going well, too. Some guys get real complicated. Some guys are pretty basic about it. I think the guys that are pretty basic about their analysis are the ones that don't have a whole lot of peaks and valleys. Fairly consistent. Guy that's been fairly consistent, Adrian Beltre, a tapper. Smyly double clutches and throws it away down the right field line. And Beltre will advance 90 more feet. He gets himself in scoring position. And I'm sure that's going to be a base hit and an error. Smyly looked like he couldn't get a good grip on the ball, so had to re-grip it, and by the time he got rid of the throw and threw it low, Beltre aboard. So it will be an infield single for Adrian, and an error on Smyly for the throw.
Yeah, it was a playable ball until he bobbled it and then realized he had to rush it, try to put a little too much on it, threw it right by fielder at first base. Rangers get a man in scoring position because of it.
Oh, the third hit of the night for the Rangers.
Threw a ball that fielder could have caught if there was no runner there. But you can't reach for that low ball while Beltre's spikes are coming down right on top of your glove. So he shied away from it, and don't blame him.
Michael Young drives one to deep left center field. Going over is Berry. He's at the wall. It's off the wall. Beltre will score easily. Young not stopping at second. He's digging for third. He's in with a slide and an RBI triple.
That did take the Rangers long to capitalize on that mistake by Smyly. First pitch after the infield hit and error, Michael Young unloads. And now the Rangers with a man on third have a chance if Nelly Cruz can put the ball in play into the outfield to tie the ball game.
Now, Michael Young, and the struggles for Michael, not only in just overall batting average, but with runners in scoring position, have been well chronicled. But Michael Young, forgetting all about that, he almost drove it out of the ballpark. Had to settle for 3 bases, and that great camera work will show you that foot getting into the bag before that tag ever applied. Well, Ron Washington now seeing Nelly Cruz up there. The infield drawn all the way in. And with Michael Young safe at third, safe and secure, it's New York life. Cruz 0 for 1, a ground ball to short. You get an idea of how close the infielders are to the cut of the grass. Interesting talking with Scott Coolbaugh, as you and I were, Tom, before the ball game, and Scott was talking about guys in this situation, runner at third, less than 2 outs, trying to do a little too much right now. And Nelly was one of those guys that he was talking about. He said, you know, the idea of contact, getting a run home, sometimes seems so simple that the guys discard that idea. They want to do a little bit more.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of times, Buzz, it looks like instead of just being satisfied with a base hit or a fly ball, they're looking for a home run.
Right.
They tend to overswing a little bit, but go back through the middle and hit the ball solidly is all you need to do. You just have to hit it 300 feet. Big thing you have to do is make contact.
Right.
You can't strike out.
That's what Nelly Cruz is trying to do here. Michael Young at third after the RBI triple. Young driving in his 30th run of the year. 3-2 Detroit, and Nelly Cruz could change that with one swing of the bat. Smiley's 2-2 pitch. Little looper to right field. That's going to get the job done. It's down for a hit. Young will score. Cruz hanging on after a turn, and we've got a brand new ball game. Nelly ties the game at 3 as Michael Young comes home.
Well, Smiley tuned that one up at 94 miles an hour, got it in on the fists a little bit. But Nelly muscles it over the infield, dumps it in front of the outfield, picks up his 48th RBI on the season, turns it into a different ball game.
And that's going to prompt a visit by Jeff Jones, the Tigers pitching coach. You talk about strong. That ball was really in. It was down a little bit, too, about thigh high. And you've got to have some severe strength to hit that ball the other way from an inside pitch and get it that far.
That was a good pitch. It was 94 miles an hour. It looked like it had a little cutting action that brought it in to the inside corner.
You can't have those guys standing at first base too long. It'll tilt the infield. Those are 2 big guys.
I like to see them both hit their best bolt, see who could hit it the farthest. Be a pretty close race.
It would be. So a brand new ball game. Rangers have tied it with a couple of runs here in the 4th. Still just 1 out. Mike Napoli at the plate with Cruz at first. And Smiley will check in on Nelly Cruz with a soft toss to first. Napoli went down swinging his first time up. Smiley ready, a check of first base. Napoli a big swing and a miss. Knapp, very unusual for him, having trouble this year against left-handed pitching. And part of it goes back to the timing of the slumps that he's had. Hitting just 169, though, against left-handers. And he just ate them alive last year. A ball and a strike as Smiley misses low and inside. Knapp, a couple of hits yesterday, single and a double. Trying to get Nelly Cruz around from first. And the pitch in the dirt. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Napoli back in the batter's box. Taps home plate with the business end of that bat. And Smiley ready to work. Little jam shot pop up down the right field line. In pursuit is Bosch, and it drops untouched and in foul territory.
Almost dropped fair. That would have been a thing of beauty. Of course, it was fair. Bosch might have caught it. He wasn't that far away from it.
And Bosch shading over toward right center field a little bit. Had a long way to go and almost got there.
And it's very difficult for an outfielder when you've got that far to go, running that fast, and you know the wall is only about 7 or 8 feet from the foul line. You just, I mean, if you value your health, you can't run that fast all the way to that ball and then crash into the wall. It's got padding on it, but it'll only help you so much.
I was going to ask you, padding doesn't come into your mind about that time, huh?
No, it helps, but it's not like running into cement, but it's pretty close when you're going full speed anyway. I remember the time Pete Incaviglia was playing left field in our ballpark, old ballpark, and he ran into that fence going as hard as he could, and it didn't even faze him. He just bounced off that wall and got right. Anybody else would have been down for the count, boy. It didn't even hurt Inky.
Smiley with the 2-2 pitch. Hit high in the air to center field. Jackson retreating. This ball will stay in the ballpark. Cruz tagging at first. He's going to stop as Jackson gets the ball back in very quickly. And Napoli a fly ball to center. That's the second out of the inning. And Yorvi Torrealba will come up.
Yeah, but that's the right idea for Nelly. You know in the big leagues that ball's going to be caught by the center fielder. So go back and tag up. You can go pretty much as far as you want. And then you look at the throw, and if it's offline, you keep going, and if it's not, you go back. And Jackson has a nice, solid arm from center field. Nelly goes back. He's going to go as far as he can. He sees the throw is right on line, so he goes back.
And Austin Jackson not taking anything for granted. He made a strong throw into second to keep Cruz at first base. 2 outs, Yorvi Torrealba at the plate. Yorvi, the ground ball to short. His first time up there. Torrealba in his last 13 ball games has hit safely in 11 of them. And about a 255 clip. He takes a strike here from Smiley. Torrealba, that game that Smiley pitched back on April the 19th at Comerica Park. 0 for 2 as Torrealba had a couple of at-bats against Smiley. The young left-hander pretty preoccupied, as he should be, with 2 outs with Nelly Cruz at first. Jim Leyland has seen the Rangers run and run frequently against his ball club over the years. Now the 0-1. There goes Cruz. A breaking ball swung on and missed. The throw is not in time. And Nelly Cruz sliding in with a stolen base gets himself into scoring position.
Avila's been doing a pretty good job against the Rangers. He's thrown out some base stealers. In fact, he threw out Elvis in the first inning.
Now Cruz with his 6th stolen base of the year. Avila caught Elvis Andrus back in the first inning here tonight. So Cruz 6 out of 10 in the stolen base department. Yorvi Torrealba trying to pick him up. And a nice job by Alex Avila to block that ball in the dirt and keep it around home plate. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Tigers have been getting some pretty good pitching. Last 21 games, their staff ERA is just a little bit above 3. Last 35 or 36 games, the bullpen ERA is right around 2. They got some great arms out in their bullpen.
Drew Smiley, a long look in to Alex Avila. Torrealba waiting patiently, and his patience runs out. Rangers have come back to tie it in this inning. They've scored a couple of times. Big RBI base hits from Michael Young and Nelly Cruz. And now Torrealba takes low, and again, Avila has to block that ball to keep it from going all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Torrealba. Smiley about ready to unleash his 74th pitch of the night and his 25th of this inning. He has been tested here in the Texas heat in this 4th inning. I think that's probably, Tom, teams coming in here probably doesn't affect them for 3 or 4 days. The guys that play every day, yeah, you get a little bit tired, but they can do things to alleviate that. But when a pitcher comes in and has a long inning pitch-wise, I think that's when the heat here in Texas really gets to guys.
Yeah, I have to think there's some pitchers who just aren't looking forward to pitching on a night like this.
Yeah.
The Rangers over the years have adopted the philosophy, and it's the only one you can have. The heat's not going away. The dome is not coming. And so you deal with it, and you learn to thrive under it. And they've done that the last couple of years. They played well. They pitched well in this ballpark in the heat. And it stands to reason if you play here every day, you get used to it, and you learn to use it to your advantage. Mm-hmm. And if it's not, then I guess, you might as well just pack it in because you're never going to win.
Exactly.
You just can't let that thought ever enter your mind.
Yeah, and that's what Ron Washington and his coaching staff have done. They haven't let that become an issue with the club. The payoff pitch to Torrealba, loop to right field. On comes Bosch. He can't get there. Rounding third is Cruz. Here comes the throw. The slide. He's safe. The Rangers take the lead as Cruz slides around the tag by Alex Avila. And Torrealba with the RBI base hit makes it a 4-3 Ranger lead.
And the other thing you like is he may be the catcher, but he's also a base runner. He gets the base hit, he never stops. And now Torrey's in scoring position himself at second base. 0-2, he battled the count to 3-2. Fought off a high fastball, maybe a little out of the strike zone. And a beautiful slide by Nelly just to evade the throw. And look at that bat right in the way. Boy, what a great shot. Great call by Gary Darling, the home plate umpire. Well, the Rangers have used an infield hit.
Brandon Snyder smokes one to center field. Torrealba around third. Here comes the throw from Jackson. It's high. Torrealba scores into second base, and out at second base is Brandon Snyder. But not before the RBI drives home Yorvi Torrealba. And the Rangers come up with a 4 spot in the fourth. And after 4 complete, Yorvi Torrealba and the Rangers lead 5-3 over the Tigers on Fox Sports Southwest. Bottom of the fourth inning. And they've taken a 5-3 lead. And here's how that inning ended. It almost continued. Austin Jackson, a good throw to the plate, but it was too late to get Torrealba. And then Alex Avila, a snap throw down to second base. And the tag applied by Johnny Peralta on Brandon Snyder. A great hustle play, though, by Brandon Snyder, almost getting in there. And he was able to knock in the big run that made it a 2-run Ranger lead. But Yu Darvish back to the hill. He now has a lead with which to work. And as Tom told you, when we saw him in San Diego get a lead, he was lights out from there on. And he will go here in the 5th inning to Alex Avila. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Avila 0 for 1, a ground ball to second base, his first time up. Darvish back to the plate and just missed the low and away. Happy to have Mark McLemore, co-host of Rangers Live, joining us. Mac, thanks for coming by. A little excitement there in that 4th inning.
A lot of excitement. Yeah. I like it. They got started just a little bit early for me. I wish they had waited for that so I can get credit for that.
I was thinking the same thing, Mac. That should have been your inning.
Line drive left center field. Long run for Cruz. He can't get there. It's in the gap between Hamilton and Cruz, and into second base with a leadoff double is Alex Avila, showing you some of that good opposite field power. So that is the first base hit tonight by a Tiger other than Prince Fielder.
Every hit by the Tigers has been by a left-hand hitter, and every hit's gone to the same spot, left center field. Darvish gives up a .202 average to right-hand hitters. Left-hand hitters have been the only ones to do any damage against him today.
Darvish just the 3 hits, but Avila now in scoring position, and Ramon Santiago switch hitting second baseman up there. And there's that slow hook. Well, Mac, base running, something the Rangers have prided themselves on the last several years, and boy, we're really seeing the aggressive style from everybody in the lineup.
Yeah, everybody, and I think a lot of people think that you have to be fast to be a good base runner. You don't. You just have to know what to look for, when to look for it. In those instances there, you're looking for the outfielder to throw the ball high up over where the cutoff man can't cut it off, and as the guy that hit the ball or any other runner that's on base, you keep going. Because if he throws it high, like Austin Jackson just did there's nobody to cut it. You just keep going. And unfortunately, Brandon Snyder was called out at second, even though it looked like he got in there under the tag.
It took a great play by Avila to get him, too. Although,
it did.
Normally he's going to be safe on that play. The ball goes all the way through like that.
Fastball in on Santiago straightens him up. That's something I got to I'd admire Ron Washington for doing, staying with that philosophy that he brought here in 2007 when he first came, and guys were saying, well, that sounds great, but we're not that kind of ball club. And Wash said, no, we're going to be that kind of ball club. Now they are.
Well, he had a lot of resistance for sure about changing the way the Rangers had played over the years, and a lot of people took it as, hey, that's considered small ball. No, it's not considered small ball. It's considered baseball. You want to be strong in every part of the game, and that includes base running, moving the runner over, whether it's by a bunt, sac fly, or hitting the ball the opposite way. It's the complete game of baseball, and it took him a couple of years before he got guys to buy into it. But boy, once they did, well, we all know what's happened. Won the World Series 2 years in a row, and got a good opportunity this year to get back to postseason play. So it was a little tough in the beginning for him to get that point across, but he's done a good job of sticking with it.
And it's not like he was saying, look, I want you guys to start going for singles and stolen bases and forget the home run. Right. He's happy to take the home run. Just want you on the days when a good pitcher is pitching and you can't hit home runs to be able to score some other way.
Yeah, I've yet to see him give back a home run. So, no, we don't want that. No,
let's chop it up into a bunch of hits.
You can have that back.
I mean, a perfect example is, Nelly drives in a run, gets the first, steals second. We get Torey Alba driving him in.
Yep.
That's just a perfect situation, creating a run.
Well, Nelly steals second and scores. Then Torey Alba goes to second on the throw home, and he scores on a base hit.
And we've seen this Ranger ball club be a little bit inconsistent. Not bad, but inconsistent so far offensively. And to be able to do things a multitude of ways plays into what they have to do or what they've done to have the best record in baseball this far.
It really does. If you're just a one-dimensional team that relies on that 3-run homer, well, if you're facing some tough pitching, you've got to figure out some other ways to score runs. And if you're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're pretty much going to lose that ball game. But being able to manufacture runs, single here, single there, stolen base, double, bunt them over, sac fly, those are different ways to win ball games, and all the good clubs are that.
Darvish setting for the 3-2 pitch to Santiago. Got him swinging on a breaking ball. Big strikeout there for Darvish. Not only is his 6th of the night, but he keeps that runner at second base. And there's 1 out now for the top of the order. Now let's take a second to look at the AT&T trivia question and answer for tonight. The question's going back in Ranger history. The first season the Rangers had 2 All-Star Game starters. And who were they? And the answer would be 1989 with Julio Franco at second base and Ruben Sierra in right field. 1989, the first time that happened for the Rangers, a couple of starters. The 1 away, here's Austin Jackson, who is 0 for 1 officially. He has walked and scored. He's also struck out.
Now Darvish gets ahead of Santiago, then runs the count to 3-2, and then throws him a nasty slider, it looked like, down and in to strike him out on a 3-2 pitch. I'm Santiago. I'm saying, hey, look, I'm hitting 230 on batting 9th. Why don't you save that for Cecil?
If you're Darvish, say, yeah, I've got one for Cecil too.
Cecil's taking care of me. I got to make sure I get you.
Matter of fact, I have one for Cecil and for his son. Chopper to Napoli, gets his body in front of it. Backhanded flip to Darvish. They get the job done 3-1, and Napoli's going to have the imprint of the commissioner's signature on his chest, but he got the out.
Yeah, he did. He took one there, but it's hard to tell what kind of a hop he was going to take. But almost hit him right in the face. Pretty nice recovery, though. Darvish is a good fielder. He gets over there.
That's that catcher in him right there, blocking it, get in front of it. Keep it in front.
Feels a lot better when you got your chest protector on, though.
Yep, doing it any way you can get it done. And now with 2 outs, Avila managed to get over to third, but I think Napoli's getting a little bit of information from his bench. Looked over there like, will you guys be quiet? Here's Quentin Berry. And that slow breaking ball just stayed outside for ball 1. I think the guys in the bench are asking Napoli why he even bothers taking a glove out there. He's not going to use it.
What they should be doing is saying, thanks for saving us a run, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think you probably said that. Berry 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Speedy left fielder, hot shot by Mike Napoli and into right field. Down to score is Alex Avila, and the Tigers come right back against Darvish, and they make it a 5-4 Ranger lead. And Darvish had handled Quentin Berry pretty well, but he got this one in a very hittable location.
Yeah, that looked like a cutter, or it just spun up there. Ended up being a mediocre fastball that he was able to get a hold of.
Now you got to pay attention to Quentin Berry. He has 12 stolen bases in just 30 ball games for the Tigers. And you also have to pay attention to the guy at the plate. That's Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera hit by a dangerous fastball his first time up. That got him up in the very back bottom of the helmet. Fortunately, he was okay, and he goes after the first pitch and shoots it foul to the right. Last time up, Cabrera flied out to right field on what was for him a very tentative swing. This is back in the first inning. Boy, he is. I don't know how in the world he got the head out of the way as far as he did. Still got the bottom of the helmet. And he was very lucky that ball just followed him right down to the ground. See, Cabrera second in the American League, 91 hits. And Beltre is third with 90. Fastball right on the outside corner. So Darvish has done a good job of freezing Quentin Berry on the first couple of pitches at first base. A couple of throws, different moves to first. He's also varied the time he stayed in the stretch, and it's been hard for Berry to get a good read on him. Now Darvish set for the 0-2, and instead he goes first base way again. Darvish really needs to keep Berry from getting a good jump, unless he's sure he's going to strike out Cabrera. Got him swinging. That's the best way to handle that base runner. Tigers come up with a run on a couple of hits, but they strand one, and we're halfway through the ball game in Arlington. It's the Rangers 5 and the Tigers 4 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Lottery has landed, and the current estimated annuitized jackpot is $40 million. Play today because Powerball has changed for the bigger. On to the bottom of the fifth, Ian Kinsler starting things off against Drew Smiley. Rangers on top 5-4. They've out-hit Detroit 7-4. And Ian Kinsler, a big part of it tonight. He's 2 for 2, a home run and a single. Finds himself now down in an 0-2 hole to Smiley. Tiger left-hander back to the plate, and the pitch in the dirt. It's time for the AT&T U-verse reverse replay, and this is how the game started for the Rangers. Ian Kinsler, even though he got down on the count a couple of strikes, pounded that fastball from Drew Smiley, his third leadoff home run of the year and the 23rd of his career. Smiley working to Kinsler for the third time tonight. Avila's going to go out and have a little talk with his young left-hander. When you look at a guy like Ian Kinsler, who not only has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but a lot of different things at the top of the order. An occasional, power, driving in runs, stealing bases, first to third ability. That's pretty complete leadoff man, isn't it?
That is a very complete leadoff man. There have been very few leadoff hitters in the game that can do those things consistently. And Ken's is one of the best. I mean, you've got most leadoff guys is that prototypical kind of guy that, gets on. He's a base stealer. He takes a lot of pitches. He wants to get walks. Ken's isn't concerned about walks. He's getting on base any way he can. And if he can leave, he's going to leave.
Yeah. And you back him up with Elvis Andrus, who I think is becoming a very complete ball player himself. You've got a couple of guys at the top of the order to set the table as well as anybody.
You really do. With Elvis hitting behind him, he's going to see a lot of fastballs when Ken's is on base. He's got Josh behind him. He's going to see a lot more fastballs. He can handle the bat. And if Ken's is on first, he's got that right side open, so he can shoot it over there. He can bunt for a base hit. He can drop one. He can push one. There are all kinds of things that Elvis can do. Mm-hmm. And for a young ball player, even though he's been in the big leagues 3.5 years now, he's playing like a 10-year vet. He goes out and just gets it done. He has an idea of what he wants to do each and every day.
And coming from you, that's pretty high praise, because you see him a lot in spring training during the season. You've seen the growth firsthand, not just by the results on the field. And you've actually seen it and been a part of it.
Right. The growth and the maturity it's just been tremendous. It's come so quickly for him.
Well, Kinsler gone on strikes as Smiley gets his third punch out of the evening. Right now, let's go back to Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's John Radigan. John? All right, John, thank you. Well, you knew they weren't going to play the way they did the first month of the season. That's a pretty good ball club in Anaheim. But if the Rangers take care of their business, we'll see what happens when the two of them match up.
That'll be an interesting series. The rest of the way, every time they play, I think it's going to be a lot more the way that it's been the last couple of years. They're just going to be battling it out. And Anaheim's a good ball club, and they're starting to play that way.
They might have kept playing that way if they didn't call up Mike Trout.
Yeah, you're right.
One of the best players in the league right now. In fact, when you look at what they were before he got there, if they are a playoff team, and with 2 wild cards, there's plenty of room, and he ends up leading the league in hitting, you're talking about a kid who could be the MVP at 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
Yeah, without them, or without him, they are an entirely different ball club.
No doubt.
We talk about Kinsler and Andrus, the top of the Ranger order, how much they did. Well, Trout has been the spark plug for the Angels. And Elvis Andrus, right on cue, drops one inside the left field line. That's going to go for extra bases in the corner as Clinton Berry has to go dig it out. And the 18th double of the year has Elvis Andrus at second base with 1 out, and Josh Hamilton coming up.
This gets jammed just a little bit, but as we saw last night, over the last couple of days, you throw it away, he drives it to right. You throw it in, and he's still quick enough to pull the ball. Pulled a double right down the line the other night, hit a couple balls to right field. Just feeling good and confident at the plate. Not afraid to take pitches, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Making some good contact. Now, one of the things that they said about Elvis when they called him up, he was only 20. They loved his aptitude, and they loved his work ethic, and they loved his makeup. And with all those things going for him, you can see why he's developed as quickly as he has.
Here's Hamilton, who is 0 for 2. Hits the ball hard, but right at the second baseman, Santiago, who stays down with it. Flips on to first. Hamilton retired. There are 2 gone. Elvis Andrus on over to third base. He's there with 2 outs for Adrian Beltre. Luis Marte is loosening in the Tiger bullpen in support of Drew Smiley. Well, Hamilton 0 for 3, and Beltre steps in. Had an infield single his last time up. As a matter of fact, that little infield single and then the error on the throw by Smiley got that Ranger 4-run outburst started in the 4th inning.
The Rangers had 4 hits in the 4th inning with men in scoring position, something they didn't do last night. Here's another opportunity. for one of the hottest hitters in the league.
And Smiley with that first pitch for strike one. Beltre now a 7-game hitting streak. He is hitting at .330. Elvis coming down the line from third. The ball gets by Avila. He has no idea where it is. It's back at the backstop, and Elvis Andrus is in the dugout. Having crossed home plate, and the Rangers take a 6-4 lead.
Well, that's sneaking in a run when you don't expect it. Mac, you're pointing down to Elvis. Was he thinking about something?
Yeah, I think he was thinking about stealing home. He was definitely trying to get Smiley's attention and distract him a little bit. I think he distracted Smiley and Avila behind the plate.
Well, look at Smiley, looks over at him. That ball just went right by Avila. I don't think he knows how he missed it.
And they're going to rule that a pass ball, and I think that's a very good call. And now Smiley firing one up and out of the strike zone. He is behind in the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Pitchers have pretty much eliminated the straight steal of home because they all pitch from the stretch, but left-handed guy from the windup, you got a shot, right?
You definitely have a shot. You got the right-hander up. He's blocking the catcher's view. It was a perfect situation, but Prince Fielder was over there hollering at Smiley, hey, keep an eye on him and watching. And that
he saw the same thing you saw.
Oh, yeah. He did. He's looking right at him. So, you know, those are the little things that make you a better base runner and a better team. And I know Avila had to see something. I know he saw Prince hollering at Smiley and pointing over there to Elvis, so it was in his mind as well.
I wonder if Avila looked at Elvis to miss that ball. But he didn't even touch. I don't think he even touched
I think
that
he did.
ball.
He was definitely aware of him being down there.
Yeah, just another one of the facets that excellent base runners bring to a ball club. Yeah, and that will distract everybody, to be quite honest. But
I think it had something to do with it.
If you look at it, his head was up. His head never went down to follow the ball.
Yeah. I think it had something to do with it. You know, they talk about a triple or an inside the park home run being one of the most exciting plays in baseball. You don't see it anymore, but the straight steal of home is about as exciting as it gets. You want to get the crowd going, do that.
2-2 the count to Adrian Beltre. Rangers now leading 6-4. They got the run back that the Tigers scored in the top of the inning. And that pitch, and
we talked about this before, but in our day, Buzz, the guy that did that as well, better than anybody, was Rod Carew.
Oh, yeah.
He could take a big lead in about 4 steps in a slide, and he was gone.
Yep.
Davey Nelson one time for the Rangers got on first base, stole second, third, and home in the same play, same inning. That's something you don't see very often.
No, that's right.
Of course, our fans didn't get that excited because only about 2,500 of them at the game. They were excited. There just wasn't many of them.
I was doing a game out in Anaheim when Devon White did that on 3 consecutive pitches. You were there.
Did the same thing?
Yeah. And I can't remember who was pitching.
I forgot.
But whoever was pitching hit him intentionally.
And
it made him mad.
Yep.
So he took
stole
second.
home on him?
No, he took second. Next pitch he took third, and the next pitch he took home.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the darnest thing I'd ever seen.
Once the guy steals second and third, you got to go from a stretch, don't you? You can't let him do that to you.
No, I don't think it ever occurred to him. Now the 3-2 pitch to Beltre, swung on, hit high in the air down the left field line. Over his Barry, he's right at the stands, and that ball back about 6 rows. So Adrian will come back and try it again on 3-2. Well, this July, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game in Kansas City. That's coming up July 10th at 6:30 Central on Fox.
I always wondered if you've got a right-hand hitter up there in the days when you could steal home, you can't really have a sign, I'm going to steal home. So right-hand hitter can't see him come. So Do you try it with a right-hand hitter?
You want that. You want the right-hander to be up there. You don't want the left-hander to be up there because then you've got the catcher
sees it coming.
Absolutely. So you want a right-hander up there. But
how does the right-hand hitter know not to line into left field?
You just hope he hears something and you're coming screaming or something.
There's a story that Rod Carew tried to steal home with Harmon Killebrew up there, and Harmon Killebrew said, "Be careful, next time I'm aligned into left field."
Well, that's going to do it for Drew Smiley. He has finished after 97 pitches. He leaves having given up 6 runs, and he leaves with baggage at first base in the person of Adrian Beltre. And Luis Marte is coming on, and while he makes his way in for the bullpen, we will take a timeout on Fox Sports Southwest. Slate for tomorrow's pitching matchup. Tomorrow it's going to be right-hander Roy Oswalt making his second appearance in a Ranger uniform. Right-hander Doug Fister going for the Tigers. That'll be a 7:05 first pitch. We'll be with you at 7 o'clock for the game, 6:30 for coverage here on Fox Sports Southwest. Oswalt, a very, very good first outing for the Rangers as he won his initial outing in 6 2/3 innings of work. Mac, I know you saw that ball game. What did you think of Roy Oswalt first time out?
I like what I saw. He had some movement. He had stamina. He was able to get pitch into the 7th inning, which I didn't think he'd be able to do that first time out. I was looking for 5 innings, maybe 6. But pitching into the 7th inning, he did exactly what he wanted to do with his pitches. And that was impressive.
Get a look at the numbers for Luis Marte.
Well, the home run prone. He's given up 3 home runs in 13 innings. Michael Young's had, I guess you'd have to say, the biggest hit of the game for the Rangers. That triple kind of set up the whole 4th inning.
He is up there again with Beltre at first. And the first pitch from Marte up and in for ball 1. Marte, a 25-year-old out of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. Signed by the Tigers back in 2005. Non-drafted free agent in here to face Michael Young. Young with that triple and 2 trips to the plate. Drove in his 30th run of the year and scored as Nelly Cruz brought him home with a key RBI single. Now Marte going first base way. Marte last year came up and appeared in 4 ball games for the Tigers. He has progressed through their minor league system, spent the better part of 2 years at Erie in the Eastern League for Detroit. And Young fouls the next pitch back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers converted him almost full time to a reliever a couple of years ago, and he had the big leagues in that capacity. Michael Young out doing a little soul searching around home plate, saying, why in the world did I foul that pitch off? And Nelly Cruz, or I should say Adrian Beltre, the runner at first, with Nelly Cruz in the on-deck circle. And Young takes a strike. It's 1-2. There's Nelly. Avila flashing the signs out. Young waiting. And the right-hander's ready for the 1-2 pitch. Michael Young just getting a piece of it. Mac, Tom and I have been talking about Michael Young and the extraordinary, I think it's extraordinary for him to go this long. It's really a career-long drought for him. The lowest his batting average has been this late in the season since his first full year. Do you see anything in what Michael's going through right now that is cause for concern?
You know, I really can't put a finger on it. I don't know what it is that's got him hitting 273 now.
Beltre not stopping at second. He's going on around to third. And maybe we can just put that whole thing to rest because that's Michael's second hit of the night. And he's starting to pile a few of them together.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you look at Michael is his body looks the same. He's in great shape, playing every day. All you can think is just a matter of time before he, goes 42 for 100 and is right back where you expect him to be.
I mean, he hasn't lost any bat speed.
No.
Nothing, not bat control. Like you said, Tom, it's just a matter of time. I know all three of us are just waiting for that to happen and knowing that it's going to happen.
Toward the end of people's careers, and Michael's not there yet by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe their back gets a little slow and you're seeing that they're not getting around on the fastball and you start to go, ooh, uh-oh. In fact, they were saying that about Derek Jeter at the beginning of last year.
Derek Jeter and David Ortiz the last 3 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
So when a guy's a great hitter, I guess the best advice is don't ever write him off.
Cruz skies one to right center field. Bosch and Jackson converging. Brennan Bosch makes the catch. And that'll do it. But the Rangers come up with another run, a big run on a pass ball, and 2 runners left. Rangers leading 6-4. Mark McLemore, thanks for joining us. We'll see you after the ball game on Rangers
Got it,
Live.
fellas. We're down.
Rangers leading the Tigers 6-4, and Steve and Tom, look who we found here on the front row. It's Cowboy defense coordinator Rob Ryan, along with his son Matthew. We'll get to that in a second. But big Ranger fan, you even got the Darvish tag hanging around your neck?
Tag, absolutely, the dog tag. And he's never been beaten at home, so I want to make sure that stay the way it is.
There we go. Now, looking at the Rangers out here, if there's one guy you can put on your defense, who would it be?
Well, the obvious is Hamilton, but I'm going to go with Napoli. He's a tough guy, and I think he'd have a nose for the ball.
Let's just get this out of the way. Football begins. You guys go to training camp towards the end of July. Let's get the football Super Bowl prediction. You guys are going to win it all this year, right, Rob?
Yeah, we better win.
Matthew, guys, this is his son, Matthew. How old is he, Rob?
He's 14.
14. Look at the size on this guy. It's the college recruiters. You're looking on. You got to sign this guy now. All right, Rob, good seeing you. Appreciate the time. Steve.
All right, Doxy, thank you. I like the Napoli
I
pick.
do too.
I
do too.
I think that he would be the kind of guy you'd throw at maybe an outside linebacker to do a little damage out there.
The other guy that never has played football, but if he ever grew up playing football, that would be playing somewhere is Nelly Cruz.
Oh, yeah. Like,
because he can run. He'd be a great linebacker. He could be
whatever he wanted
power
to.
Running back, too,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, Nelly could be a tight end. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Prince Fielder, and Darvish back to him. Here's that slow breaking ball.
Well,
They're not able to wait back long enough.
Went back and looked at the teams when we were playing or before that. Rob Ryan would have to look all over the field to find a guy that looked it was big enough to be a football player. Now you can look anywhere you want on the field. Craig Gentry could be a great wide receiver.
Yep.
Elvis, I'm sure, could be a wide receiver or a quarterback probably.
2-2 pitch, hit well to center field. Going back is Hamilton. He's at the track. He reaches up, makes the catch, and bangs into the padding.
Well, Fielder's had some good at-bats tonight. He almost launched that one. And he's been hot. Last 39 games, he came in hitting .336. Got 2 more hits tonight, so got to be careful too. Unfortunately, he got underneath that just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
That look on Yu Darvish's face when he was talking to Toriyama is the classic worldwide language of "I got away with one."
Well, he hung a curve. He hung a curveball the last time that he didn't get away with, and he threw a flat slider. It looked like that time, and he did get away with it. So there you go. He's 1 for 2.
That needs no translation at all. That look.
That smile.
Yeah, that. Phew. So 1 out, and Delman Young at the plate.
Buzz, I want to give an update on Richard Price's dad. We call him Papa Hog, Al Price. Richard Price is our equipment and home clubhouse manager. He's still in ICU fighting the West Nile virus, but prayers and well wishes are working. Hoggy and the Price family want to thank everyone for their support. And then Hoggy offers this advice. Just remember to take care of yourself when you're outside this summer, because this disease is not anything you want a family member to go through. I've never heard of anyone having the West Nile virus, but I know that Al's in a real battle right now in the ICU. So, Hoggy, thanks for the update on your dad, and we'll all be saying a prayer for him.
Yep. Glad he's progressing. A swing and a miss by Young, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Darvish at 94 with a pitch count. He has 1 out here in the 6th inning, and Delman Young 0 for 2 tonight, a ground ball and a strikeout.
I think the fact that he finished so strong in his last 2 starts might allow Wash to stick with him as long as he can today on a hot night. Bullpen is not perfectly rested, although it should be fine if Darvish can get through 6, and it'll be great if he can get through 7.
And I would imagine that's what they would like for him to do. I think, without having to push the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
You get him through 7, and then you have any combination you want of Ross and Adams and Nathan.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yep.
Delman Young waiting. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. And the count has gone full. Yu Darvish with 7 strikeouts tonight, by the way, has moved into 2nd place on a list of strikeouts for Japanese State-born starters through their first 15 career starts. Only Hideo Nomo has struck out more than Yu Darvish has. And you might as well add one to that. That is strikeout number 8 and a pretty good breaking ball. So 2 away. Now let's check in again with Emily Jones. Em?
And Tom, you had your shout-outs earlier. We've got a very special shout-out here at the ballpark in between innings. A very nice picture flashed up on the Jumbotron. Do you guys know who that is? Oh, I guess it explains it with the Nolan and Ruth. I was hoping maybe we could just show the picture. Anyway, 45th wedding anniversary for Nolan and Ruth Ryan. A beautiful couple then and now. And they even put them on the kiss cam, and they obliged.
Oh, that's great.
45 years for Nolan and Ruth.
Happy anniversary.
Yep.
Wondered why Nolan wasn't down in his seats down there. Up in a box somewhere with his family.
1-0 pitch. Yeah, that's a fastball poured right through there by Brennan Bosch.
What's some of the 3-2 breaking balls he's thrown for these strikeouts? That one he just threw the Delman Young to a right-hand hitter. Well, if you swing at it, you're not going to hit it for sure. No one's going to hit it. There's a little bit of everything right now.
A new low there for tonight. 67 miles an hour for that curveball, and 100 pitches, 62 strikes. But keep in mind now, the first inning and a half or 2 innings that Darvish worked, he had more balls than strikes in his ratio.
Yeah, at one point he was somewhere around 17 and 15, 16 and 15. He's pretty
low. To Napoli, and that's 4 straight now, set down by Darvish. He's through 6, and the Rangers lead the Tigers 6-4 on Fox Sports Southwest. Back to the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $800 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Julie Coleman from Victoria. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam in this inning, Julie Coleman from Victoria is going to be $25,000 richer and have a whole lot of new friends. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant and get in on the fun and the dough. Now Mike Napoli to start things off. Luis Marte is back to the hill after taking over for Drew Smiley with 2 outs in the 5th inning. First pitch to Knapp is a little bit low for ball 1. Mike tonight has struck out and flied to pretty deep center field. In the bottom third of the Ranger order, Torrealba and Snyder to follow Napoli. Marte back to the plate. An off-speed pitch. Missed. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Napoli, as folks are aware, getting the start at first base tonight. And takes a strike here. It's 1-2. Caught the last 2 days. He's not going to get much time off with Mitch Moreland on the disabled list. He and Napoli and Michael Young will see the majority of playing time at first base. Napoli shoots one out of play to the right, back into the third deck of seats, and it's still 1-2. And again, the Ranger injury bug hitting one more time, in case you folks mix it. Colby Lewis has been put on the 15-day DL. It was announced this afternoon. And Martin Perez, the fine-looking young left-hander, has been called up. Napoli staying alive. Colby, though, it didn't sound like the kind of injury that's going to be any more than the 15-day stint. A little tendonitis in the forearm. And figure the 15 days and a little bit of anti-inflammatory medication, and Colby should be good to go.
And you have to think in the long run, playing into October again, the 2 weeks off right now is going to be good for him.
I agree. Napoli hanging tough.
We talk about with young pitchers skipping a start here and there to keep their innings down a little bit, to keep their starts down a little bit. And you look at what Colby's had to do the last couple of years, pitch 200 innings during the season and 30 or 40 more in the postseason without that extra month off in the offseason, so it takes its toll.
Fastball, and that's inside. It hits Napoli.
Nap says, I'll take it.
And he's getting beaten up down at first base tonight. He's got hit on the left arm by that pitch. Took a ground ball off the chest, and he's aboard here to start off the Rangers' 6th inning.
Yeah, Rob Bryant saying, see what I told you? Throw a fastball in, he doesn't even move. Just lets it hit him and goes to first base. Of course, there's a time, number one, not many guys like to do that. I get my elbow out of the way. I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
When you're down 1-2, that's the time to do it, because the guy's got you in a pretty good position to get you out when it's 1-2.
Now, Napoli aboard, and here's Jorvi Torrealba. He had a run-scoring single his last time up that put the Rangers on top for the first time tonight. He takes a strike here. Jorvi with the 11 runs driven in. That increased by 1, that big RBI single, and it's the one that plated Nelly Cruz with a go-ahead run. Since then, the Rangers added 1 more in the 5th inning, and that was after Detroit had scored 1 in the top of the 5th. Torrealba with that average of .233 as he stands at the plate. He's now hit safely in 12 of his last 14 starts that he's had. Marte paying a lot of attention to Mike Napoli.
Someone ought to go over there and tell him who's on first base so he doesn't waste his extra energy throwing over there.
Well, Nap considers that flattery. He said, yeah, this guy knows I'm a good base stealer. I just haven't shown it for the first 9 years in the big leagues yet.
A secret weapon.
Pitch is low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Marte took over for Drew Smiley, who started the ball game in the 5th inning. Drew Smiley went the first 4 2/3, allowed all 6 runs. They were earned on 8 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. There goes Napoli. The hit and run was on. The ball right back to Marte, and the only play he has is to first. So Ron Washington, utilizing that blazing speed that Mike Napoli has, put the hit and run on, and Torrealba did the best job he could on a tough pitch. And it works like a sacrifice. Napoli now in scoring position for Brandon Snyder. And Snyder will not be hitting. Instead, David Murphy is announced as the pinch hitter. So David Murphy coming off the Ranger bench with the right-hander Marte on the mound. Murphy coming up to pinch hit for Brandon Snyder. Snyder ends the night 1 for 2 with a big RBI base hit in that 4-run fourth.
Yeah, David's 2 for 5, a home run, and 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter this year. He's comfortable in that role.
It's a changeup off the plate for ball 1. Yeah, Murph had a 3-run home run in a pinch hit appearance in Baltimore in that series back in May. Marte ready. Napoli the lead from second. And a fastball is out of the zone just barely. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Murphy had said he goes to the plate like he's learned that as a good pinch hitter you need to be aggressive early in the count. He said you can expect to see a fastball earlier in the count. And he hasn't really seen one here, as at least a hittable one. Marte falling behind. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, the Rangers with 10 hits last night, but only able to score 2 runs, and those came on Josh Hamilton's home run. Tonight, a little bit different story. They have cashed in 6 runs on 9 hits. And the fastball is low. That puts 2 aboard for the top of the Ranger order. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Well, conference on the mound as Jeff Jones has gone out to calm down his right-hander, Luis Marte, and also give the bullpen time to start heating up. 2 aboard, 1 out. Ian Kinsler stepping in. Kins 2 out of 3 tonight. Eighth home run came leading off the first inning for the Rangers. Kinsler also singled in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th inning. Napoli at 2nd, Murphy at 1st. And Marte is set to work. Kinsler's going to bunt. It's a dandy if it stays fair, and it doesn't. Just caught the lip of the grass, and that turned it into foul territory. If that gets on the grass at all, it stays fair. But Ian didn't quite get it done. Boy, great effort.
Yeah, and that's you can look at it 2 ways. You like Ian up there with a man on second base to drive in a run, but at the same time, you can catch him by surprise, lay down a bunt, and load the bases. You love the fact that Elvis is coming up.
Luckins back to the plate. The count of no balls and a strike. Luis Marte and his first full inning of work. He has not faced any of the Rangers. They have not had any experience against the 25-year-old right-hander. Swing and a miss. Pretty sharp breaking ball, and Kinsler down in an 0-2 hole now. And that big deep knee bend, and he's ready to go to work. Pitch a little bit low, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of sliders and changeups for Marte.
How much now? Say Kinsler, for example, he's seen 5 hitters before him against Marte and a couple of right-handed hitters. How much of an idea do you get watching how Marte works to the other hitters as to what he might do to you?
I think you got a little bit of an idea, but it's different when you get up there and see how the slider breaks. You can watch it from the bench, but I don't know that you really have a feel for it till you see it a little bit yourself from home plate. Just like video scouting, it helps a lot to know what the pitchers throw, know what their velocities are. But I really think until you get up there, you don't have a comfortable feeling.
Once you've seen it a little bit, though, you might be able to make an adjustment faster.
Then I think it helps you. Yeah, for sure. right now, I think you try not to pull the ball, try to go back through the middle or the right field.
And Kinsler called out on strikes. That off-speed pitch getting the bottom of the strike zone. And Kinsler, a couple of parting words for Gary Darling. A pretty good pitch if it had the plate. And Kinsler called out on strikes, his second strikeout of the night. The runner still at first and second, 2 away for Elvis Andrus. First strikeout recorded by Luis Marte. Elvis 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. That came in the 5th inning. That was the inning in which the Rangers saw their lead cut to 5-4. When Elvis scored, it got it back to a 2-run lead. Now, Santiago, the second baseman, breaking into second base, and Marte wisely stepping off as there was no play.
Fielder's plays way off the line, so he'll take a base hit away from Elvis in the hole, but he'll give up a double down the line if he shoots one that way.
Well, Elvis shoots it that way to deep right field. Bosch going back. He backpedals onto the warning track and makes the catch. The Rangers gone in the 6th. No runs, no hits. They strand a couple. On to inning number 7 we go from Arlington. Rangers 6, Tigers 4. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer, by AT&T, and by Jack in the Box. Yu Darvish ready to go to work in the top of the 7th inning. Rangers leading 6-4. And the first pitch to Johnny Peralta is a breaking ball that's off the plate for ball 1. Yu Darvish, to tell you how he's kicked things in the first inning, he threw one more pitch out of the strike zone and then in the strike zone. Swing and a miss. He had 15 balls and 15 balls and 14 strikes, 29 total. Since then, he has had 26 more strikes than he has thrown balls. That's a pretty dramatic turnaround for the 25-year-old right-hander. 1-1 pitch, chopper to third. Oh, Adrian Beltre plays a tough hop very well.
Makes it look easy. Makes it look like a big hop.
Yu Darvish employing that outstanding defense behind him. There's another breakdown of how he has turned things around. He had the first 4 batters reached. 2 of them scored since then. How about 3 of the next 21? You're talking, Tom, before the game about this guy getting better as the game went on, and perfect example here tonight.
He really does. Once he settles in, because he's like a lot of those pitchers that you hear people say, if you've got a chance, you better get him early.
Breaking ball to Alex Avila.
Only walk he's had was Austin Jackson to lead off the game. Walked 2 in the first inning against San Diego, and only 1 more after that.
Darvish with the 0-1 pitch. That slow breaking ball again, and just hanging a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's got to look like a beach ball coming up there. Some hitters.
Yeah. Until you go to swing it, then it just kind of keeps curving on you.
Yeah. Fastball, and that's a knee-high strike at 93 miles an hour, and it probably looked like 193. Robbie Ross getting loose out in the bullpen. He would most likely be used in this inning, and if Darvish gets through the 7th, then you're probably looking at Mike Adams, or maybe matchup situations for the 8th. But in any event, Mike Adams, the 8th inning guy, and then Joe Nathan certainly for the 9th inning. Hard breaking ball that time in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-2. Had a shot of Yu Darvish in the dugout after he went in there after the 6th inning, and Ron Washington, Mike Maddox talking to him a little bit, and Ron Washington says when he asks him how he feels, Yu Darvish says something to the effect of like a bull. He said, Ron says, I'm not really sure exactly if that's the right translation, but he says that's what I gather from when he says that. I'm good with it. 2-2 pitch, and that's chopped foul.
Or you couldn't read the lips, and you didn't know what he said, but it was pretty obvious, Buzz, what you're talking about. When Wash went up to him, he's saying, how do you feel? He had 100 pitches after 6 innings on a night where it's 95 degrees at 9:30, and Darvish just brushed him off. So, he nodded and then went right back to the conversation he was in. He didn't even bother talking to him. Don't even think about it. I'm fine.
Again, the 2-2 from Darvish. Got him swinging.
The other thing he's got, Buzz, is he's got that extra gear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 94, 5, or 6 anytime he wants it. He just doesn't use it very often. Right there, he's throwing him some off-speed pitches. He's saying, here's my best fastball, 94 miles an hour. And Avila hadn't seen 94 miles an hour. He just throws it right by him, wasn't ready for it.
That's called the art of pitching.
Yes.
Boy. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have 96. I mean, that's a nice component to have. But being able to change the speeds that well and keep hitters guessing with you. 0-1 the count to Ramon Santiago, and Yu Darvish at 111 as far as his pitchers are concerned. And as Tom mentioned, getting better as the game has gone on, even at this late stage. It's fouled to the plate, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
The other thing that never changes is the expression on his face.
Right.
He never looks happy. He never looks mad. He just has the same calm look on his face the whole game.
I think that's what Nolan calls mound presence. Where you never really know if he's happy, sad, indifferent, whatever. This doesn't change. The poker face. Ramon Santiago getting out of the box momentarily. Now he's back in there. And Darvish set to work. Foul swung on and missed, I guess, out in front of home plate. A toss by Yorvi Torrealba. And Yu Darvish has strikeout number 10 in the books. Stretch time at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Rangers 6 and the Tigers 4. And we're going to stay here as Chuck Morgan announces to the crowd the singing of God Bless America.
Both at home and around the world. Tonight we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with the most award-winning female vocalist in gospel music history, Sandy Patty.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide
Back at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Rangers leading the Tigers 6-4. You can see they have out-hit the Tigers by 5 base knocks tonight. Josh Hamilton to start things off against Luis Marte, and the right-hander deals a little bit low for ball 1. Hamilton 0 for 3 tonight, a couple of groundouts and a strikeout. The first 3 at-bats coming against the lefty, Drew Smiley. Wave and a miss, and it's 1-1. Josh now with the average at 314. It's as low as it's been since the first week of the season. That pitch outside. We're getting some action out of the Ranger bullpen as Hamilton hits. Marte back to the plate, the 2-1. Swung on, hit high in the air to deep right center field. Jackson is going back. Goodbye. Well, he might have been 0 for 3, but he's now 1 for 4 with home run number 24. And the Rangers lead 7-4.
Well, he threw him a changeup that he swung and missed at for the first strike. Threw him another one, got it up just enough. Josh had seen it one time, and he launched it. Well, one too many times. Got a chance if you throw it down and away, but not much of a chance if you keep it up.
So home runs in back-to-back games for Josh Hamilton, and first pitch to Adrian Beltre, low and outside for ball 1. And maybe we're seeing Josh start to get hot. He's had a very, very tough month of June, but when you start to see him waiting on pitches like that, Tom, the way you described it, makes a big difference. Beltre going high to right field, but that's not going to carry quite far enough. As Bosch, standing his ground, makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, that's kind of recognizing the changeup that time, and no matter who the pitcher is, you're not going to keep everyone where you want to. I'm sure Marte was trying to throw that pitch down and out of the strike zone, but he got it up. Josh waited on it, talking about timing with Scott Coolbaugh, the pitching coach, feeling comfortable at the plate. Looked comfortable with that swing.
Yeah. Scott Coolbaugh saying that's exactly what I told him to do. Now Michael Young going down the right field line, but that ball just slicing foul. And we'll come back and try it again at 0-1. There where the hitting coach pats you on the back and says, hey, nice going, kid. That's what I told you how to do that.
Yep.
And Michael Young, a good night tonight. 2 for 3. A run-scoring triple and a single. Marte back to the plate, and a pretty good fastball in the outside corner. It's 0-2 to Young. Well, maybe Josh won't have to answer those questions anymore about mechanics and patience and all that stuff. I'll bet he does. That's out of play to the right.
There's only so many things a hitter can say when you're in a slump. People want to talk to Josh. They want to, they want to ask him the questions, but you run out of things to say. Look, guys, I've had a bad month of June. My timing's off. I don't feel comfortable. There's times I'm not as confident as I need to be. I'm working as hard as I can. I feel great, and eventually I'll come out of it. But once you've said that, there's nowhere else you can really go with it, is there?
No, I think you covered it pretty well, I think, Tom. And it took about 15 seconds to cover it.
Everybody wants the answer, but the bottom line is if Josh had the perfect answer and he was able to implement it, he'd be player of the month in June too.
No, you're right.
But he's human.
0-2 pitch again to Young, and that fastball's inside. Well, and sometimes I'm convinced that sometimes there is no why. There is no answer to why.
No, it's baseball. It's baseball.
Yeah. Like Ron says, that's the way baseball goes.
Yep, it really is. Now think about Adam Dunn last year.
Right.
He hit 150 the whole year. Think of the questions that poor guy had to answer all season long.
And Young couldn't quite check his swing in time. He has gone on strikes. That's 2 gone. And Nelly Cruz coming up. Let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
to know your perspective on the increased success of this club, the increased attention, and the things that maybe weren't analyzed before are being analyzed now, and so media members and such are asking questions they may not have before, and so guys are having to answer them more than they would have otherwise?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, Em, when you're a World Series team 2 years in a row, that there's more scrutiny. And let's face it, if you go back 20 years, the clubhouse had probably 20% as many people in it before the game and after the game as it does now. Yeah, so there's more people, and they've got people to talk to, jobs to do, and a lot of questions to ask. So, yeah, I think that is going on for sure.
Yeah, Cruz hit it hard, but lined to right field. That's going to do it for the Rangers. But Josh Hamilton's leadoff home run tacks on another one. Josh with his 24th of the year to right center field. So we'll go to the 8th inning. It's now the Rangers 7 and the Tigers 4 on Fox Sports Southwest. Yu Darvish's evening is finished, but boy, he provided an awful lot here this evening. 10 strikeouts. The Tigers, and as Tom Gray was telling you, boy, he really got stronger and stronger. It seemed like each inning.
Let the ball move.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's going it doesn't go up, but it goes every other direction.
Last 3 innings of each of the last 3 games, I should say the final inning of each of the last 3 games, just incredible. Just incredible. Struck out the side against the Astros, 2 strikeouts against the Padres, and a weak ground out. And tonight, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out to the right side also. So
that's a great graphic.
Wow.
And that, without really knowing that, we've sensed it and talked about it, but that pretty much spells it out what the last inning has been. And we also kind of hinted at this, how important it was to go back out for the 7th inning. How many times have you seen a pitcher, when it's 100 degrees out for the whole game, go back out for the 7th inning after he's already thrown 102 or 104 pitches, whatever it was? Generally, the manager's saying, great job, and he goes to the bullpen. But, you know, on a night where there's guys on the disabled list and the bullpen's been used a lot, pitching that 7th inning was a big deal. Now, if it works out well, you've got Adams for the 8th, you've got Nathan for the 9th, and that's all you need.
And Mike Adams behind in the count as he starts off the 8th. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to Austin Jackson. Jackson will walk back in the 1st inning, and he scored the first Tiger run tonight. Other than that, he has grounded out and struck out. Mike Adams, not a lot of history against the Tigers, but enough to have seen these guys before. And Jackson, one of the guys who just has one at bat against Mike Adams, flied out in that lone trip to the plate.
Mike doesn't walk many, but 3-1, down by 3 runs. Big guys coming up. You have to think that Jackson's going to be taking again right here. No, swinging.
And he shoots that down the right field line, but that will slice back and out of play. And the count goes to 3-2.
Mike's only walked 5 batters in 25 innings. He can come back all the way from 3-0 count. Definitely don't want to walk either Jackson or Berry, with Cabrera and Fielder coming up in the middle of the lineup.
Jose Valverde and Octavio Dotel loosening in the Tiger bullpen. 3-2 pitch, and that's a base hit to center field. Austin Jackson. Nice short stroke by the Denton Ryan X, and he's aboard to start things off. Here's the Brown Hand Center great hands of the game. Take a look at this play by Mike Napoli. Great hands and great chest that he was able to knock that down. Then a little backhand flip to Yu Darvish. It's like all that blocking balls in the dirt for Mike Napoli paid off there. A 1 on, nobody out. Quentin Berry is at the plate, and Adams misses high for ball 1. Now Torrealba going to go out and have a little chat with the right-hander from Sinton, Texas. Adams last worked a couple of days ago against Colorado. Had a 1-inning stint against the Rockies. Gave up a hit and had a strikeout, no run damage. Saw the numbers on his 31st appearance of 2012 for Mike Adams. Berry, an RBI single back in the 5th inning, and that plated the last run that the Tigers have scored. Snap throw to first, and Jackson is back. The Tigers down by 3. It's rather doubtful that Jackson would be running here, although Jim Leyland has been kind of unconventional at times during his managerial tenure. The next pitch outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, get ahead of the hitters and you've got a better chance. He got behind Jackson, and Jackson could just sit back and wait for a fastball, knowing that Mike was not going to throw anything else, and led to a good swing and a base hit.
Adams okays the sign. He's ready for the 2-0. And it's outside. 3 balls and no strikes. So Mike Adams uncharacteristically struggling with his control a bit here. He had made some adjustments. I'm sure that folks that have watched Mike Adams this year made some adjustments as far as what he did with nobody on base when he came into an inning. Went to that little very abbreviated windup, so that made him feel better. And that pitch high and outside, he wasn't close to Quentin Berry, and there are 2 aboard with Cabrera and Fielder coming up.
Now you've turned a fairly comfortable situation, a 3-run lead, into a nail biter by getting 2 men on for Cabrera and next Fielder.
You know, Mike Maddox is going to go out there and see if he can work a little of his magic for Mike Adams. Fielder waiting in the on-deck circle. Cabrera will be the hitter after this conference concludes. You got the entire infield over there, all adding support for Mike Adams. And Mike Maddox with his hand on the shoulder of Mike Adams. One final note on the game tonight for Yu Darvish. With 10 strikeouts, it's the 4th game for Darvish this year in his 15 starts with 10 or more strikeouts. And that's the most in the American League, and it's tied with R.A. Dickey of the Mets for most in Major League Baseball. Just capping off a statistical analysis of Yu's strikeout performance in his game tonight. Here's Cabrera. And Adams will make a little inside move to check Jackson back at second base. Cabrera 4 for 4 a lifetime against Mike Adams with a double. The first pitch is low and outside. Cabrera tonight is 0 for 2. Was hit by that Darvish fastball in the first inning. Since then has flied to right and struck out. And up here in a situation representing the tying run of this ball game, facing Mike Adams, who he is perfect for in a short sample during his career. Rangers defensively playing in a no doubles alignment against Cabrera. Outfield extremely deep. The infielders looking for that 2-ball. The fastball that's inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a good look at the outfield defense.
Just don't see Mike throw 12 pitches, 9 of them balls.
Yeah.
But 2 of the strikes came after a all 3 of them came after a 3-ball no strike count to Jackson, who led off the inning.
And we're going to get some action going once again in the Ranger bullpen as Adams comes set. He's ready for the 2-0 pitch to Cabrera. And that cutter finds the inside part of the plate. Cabrera lifting his arms to let it pass by. Robbie Ross, who had been up in the 7th inning in support of Yu Darvish, now up again and loosening very quickly. You have Prince Fielder next, so it's quite possible that if Adams were to lose Cabrera, that he would not face Prince Fielder. The Prince Fielder, the bearded man in your screen, would face Robbie Ross, possibly. 2-1 pitch. Pretty good hack by Cabrera. He fouls it back. It's 2-2.
Well, Cabrera's the kind of hitter, never looks like he overswings. Very much under control, not trying to pull the ball. Got great home run power, but he doesn't take a swing that looks like he's thinking about a home run. He's basically just trying to drive the ball.
One of the best with runners in scoring position this year, as those numbers told you. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adams has the sign he wants. Austin Jackson at second, taking the lead. Quentin Berry at first. And the pitch just outside, and Cabrera able to check his swing. The count has gone full. And Cabrera doesn't strike out all that much, but it would be a pretty big gamble for Jim Leyland to turn the runners loose, even though they have great speed. Strike them out, throw them out, double play would really put a crimp in their style, but we'll see what Jim Leyland does.
Keep out of double play.
Yep.
He's hit into 14 of them.
Runner's not going, and Cabrera shoots one foul outside first.
Now you can see what he's doing with 2 strikes, too. He's trying to go to right field. He's just up there trying to put the ball in play right now.
Tops in the American League along with Joe Mauer. 14 double plays hit into. Rangers would love to make that 15 right here. Adams okays the sign. He checks the runners at first and second. And the payoff pitch. Swung on, hit well to left center field. Hamilton was already deep. He's going back at the wall and makes the catch up against the padding. Jackson tags, moves to third. And there are now runners at the corners and 1 out as Cabrera hit it as far as you can and have it stay in the park. And into Josh Hamilton's glove at the wall. I think there are a few fluttering heartbeats in that Ranger dugout.
He must have hit that ball off the end of the bat. Just enough to keep it in the ballpark. The ball's not going to stay in the park if he got it on the good part of the bat.
Josh Hamilton benefiting by not having to go back much. He was already playing deep. And they're still playing deep with Prince Fielder up there. Fielder 2 for 3. A big night for the big man. Double and home run. 3 RBI.
He's hit into 11 double plays, so that would be huge.
Literally or figuratively?
Literally. It would literally be a huge thing for him to hit into a double play and get out of the inning with no runs.
And figuratively, definitely. His double play is huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
No doubt. There haven't been many guys his size who handle their weight better than he does, though.
Yeah, I agree with him.
I mean, his size is really insignificant because he runs decently. He's got nice agility at first base.
0-1 the count. Mike Adams will bluff a move to third, then look back to first, but nobody biting.
There have been big guys, though, that have handled their weight. Remember, Rick Rushell was a big guy.
Yeah.
And he was a great fielder.
Yes, he was.
Pitcher.
And when I think back at Cecil Fielder, Prince's dad,
Yeah.
he handled his weight very well.
Yeah, he did.
Very agile. 0-1 pitch. Chopper hits slowly to first. Napoli will take the one out at first base, and a wise move is coming down to score is Austin Jackson. But they get the big second out of the inning. Into scoring position goes Quentin Berry, and it'll be up to Delman Young now. It's now a 7-5 Ranger lead.
If Mike can get Delman Young and turn 2 out, nobody on, with Cabrera and Fielder coming up into 1 run, that'll be a very successful outing.
Yeah.
Got himself in trouble, but if he can get Young right here, he will have pitched out of the major part of it.
And Torrealba out to have a chat with him about Delman Young. And well, to celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex Metro PCS, and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to watch the home team play in Los Angeles. The Rangers will be out there to register to win at MetroPCSFlyaway.com. First pitch to Young. Fastball moves him off the plate, and it's ball 1. Young tonight 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to second. Quentin Berry with very good speed at second base. A 7-5 Ranger lead. And Mike Adams trying to limit the damage to just that 1 run here in the 8th. Called strike.
Oh boy.
Cutter on the outside part of the plate.
Well, Mike's a veteran guy. Don't expect him to walk someone like Berry in that situation, but you also expect a veteran guy with his ability to be able to pitch out of it too, and hopefully he's on the verge of doing that. Doesn't panic. Just keep making his pitches.
1-1 pitch. Just outside. 2 balls and a strike. Adams has faced Delman Young 1 time in regular season, and Young struck out in that occasion. Runners in scoring position. Delman Young hitting about 40 points higher than he is with normal batting average statistics. Big swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Here is a crowd of nearly 40,000 rising. They're getting behind the Rangers and Mike Adams.
Delman Young is a tough guy to walk. He's only walked 8 times with 247 at bats. You don't have to make a very good pitch to get him to swing at it.
And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled down at home plate. And we're going to have to try it again. Gary Darling, the home plate umpire, peering around Delman Young to make sure that ball was dropped by Yorvi Torrealba, as Delman Young just did get a piece of it. So the crowd in unison now, standing once again. $39,561 on hand here tonight. And they are rooting on Mike Adams to get Young. And again fouled back.
He throws that same pitch about 8 inches lower and 4 inches more outside. You got a pretty good chance to strike him out. Keep it down though.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming to Young. And it will also be the 26th pitch of the inning for Mike Adams. Right-handers ready. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air to left field. David Murphy going back, the ball carrying pretty well, but Murphy stops just shy of the warning track, puts it away, and that'll do it. The Tigers come up with a run, but it could have been a little bit more. They strand one. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Rangers 7, Tigers 5 on Fox Sports Southwest. Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org. Speaking of Michigan, how about these Motown Tigers? They're trailing the Rangers 7-5, and as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Rangers to come to bat, and they will face the closer, Jose Valverde, as Jim Leland trying to keep this 2-run deficit right where it is.
Now, Valverde did not blow a save last year. He's 13 out of 16 this year. You knew that wasn't going to last. And what a spectacular year he had last year.
Mike Napoli starting things off. Knapp tonight 0 for 2, but last time up he reached after being hit by a pitch.
I'll say one thing about Valverde, whether you're rooting for the Tigers or not, the guy's got some style.
Yeah.
He might make some guys mad. He's kind of demonstrative on the mound, but just the way he kind of goes into that stretch to throw the ball, he's unique.
He is unique. I guess if he weren't effective, you wouldn't pay him any mind.
No,
You'd
probably not.
Yeah. But yeah, since he is so effective, he, the little bleach blonde back knot there above the neck. That's kind of a nice touch.
Yep,
hadn't seen that before.
So well manicured too.
Yeah, is that so when he turns his back, you have a different look? Turns his back on the hitter.
Yeah, you won't know who it is. Oh, it's Valverde. Oh no.
2 balls, 1 strike. The count to Mike Napoli. And he swings, and it's a towering fly ball down the left field line. Barry into the corner, right at the wall, and he makes the catch.
That ball almost went into the upper deck.
Wow. And before Yorvi Torrealba steps in, let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Steve, real quick time for Progressive Fan of the Game. I think it has to be Austin. He comes here with all his family, longtime Ranger fan. Stand up, Austin also has something special to say. What do you want?
I just came here to marry the girl I love.
And who is this?
Brienne.
Where is she? Right? Okay, well, you got to ask her, not me. Come on now.
Will you marry me?
Well, since we're at a Ranger game, I guess.
I guess it means yes. Congratulations. Here's the bag. Man, a little slow, this guy. All right, step up the game a little bit. Steve.
Oh, my goodness. Torrealba fouling off the first pitch. Knoxie should have asked her for him. Be the intermediary.
That would have elevated Jim to a new level. I'm here to ask if you will marry this guy sitting next to you.
He didn't want to talk to you right now, but as soon as he makes his next pitch, he might be able to. He's kind of keeping an eye on Jose Valverde facing Yorvi Torrealba. And Torrealba skies one to right center field. Not very deep. Jackson and Bosch converging. It'll be Jackson to make the catch. So 2 fly balls, 2 outs, and David Murphy will come up for his second trip to the plate. Joe Nathan loosening in the Ranger bullpen. You will see him unless the Rangers score about 5 or 6 runs here. Joe Nathan, 16 saves this year, 16 out of 17. And here's David Murphy, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning for Brandon Snyder and walked. Murph stayed in the ball game and took over in left field with Nelly Cruz returning to right. Valverde's first pitch, and a fastball at the knees on the outside corner. 95 miles an hour for the big right-hander. He goes 6'4". He's listed at 254. Valverde, 34 years of age, from the Dominican Republic. And he fires the 0-1 pitch. That's outside. Jim Leland has watched his ball club get out to an early lead in both the first 2 games. Rangers not able to come back yesterday. A 5-run first. Pretty well salted away the contest for the Tigers, plus pretty good pitching by Rick Porcello. Tonight, a little bit different story. As Valverde throws a strike on the outside corner, took something off it. Tigers got 2 in the first, but Ian Kinsler chopped that lead in half with a leadoff home run, and the Rangers scored 4 times in the 4th to take the lead for the first time in the series, and they have not been overtaken since. 1-2 pitch to Murph. Kind of lunging at that, and the defensive swing helps him stay alive at a ball and 2 strikes. David, a 271 hitter, 7 home runs, 25 driven in as he stands at home plate. Jose Valverde, the holder of 49 consecutive saves last year. And the pitch outside, it's 2-2. David Murphy just kind of wagging that bat back and forth. And Valverde is not typically in a very big hurry to do anything. But he's ready now to make a 2-2 pitch. And Murphy gone on strikes, couldn't reach that outside pitch. A 1-2-3 inning for Valverde. So we're going to the 9th. It's Joe Nathan time with the Rangers leading the Tigers 7-5 on Fox Sports Southwest. you by your Texas Ford dealers. Want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Coming in to take over in the ninth inning is Joe Nathan, Ranger closer, 16 out of 17 in save opportunities. He will face the number 6 hitter in the Tiger order, and that's Brennan Bosch. Get an idea of the numbers for Joe Nathan.
Joe had a little scare in his last outing, Buzz, non-save situation, but he battled out of it.
Gave up a couple of ninth inning runs to the Colorado Rockies. Able to survive that and take something positive from it. He said, hey, I got that one out of the way. It didn't cost the ball club a game. 1-1 pitch, and Bosch fouls it out of play to the left. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Bosch tonight is 0 for 3, and he is continuing his tough slide. He's 0 for his last 11 now. Left-handed hitting right fielder for the Tigers. Nathan into the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Call strike 3. That is called painting the outside corner.
That's called an unhittable pitch. If I'm the hitter, I'm going, whoa.
Now let's go to the set of Rangers Live with Dana Larson. Dana?
Buzz, we've got the post-game show coming up in just a moment. Clubhouse reaction, Ron Washington as well. Plus, we will hear from Roy Oswalt as he gets set to face the Tigers for the first time in his long career. And also Angels highlights as they remain just about as hot as the Rangers do. Back to you guys.
All right, Dana, thank you. We'll be awaiting that with you and Mark McLemore out there analyzing everything. Yeah, the Angels did win tonight. They beat Baltimore 7-3 the final there. And the pitch, a fastball in the outside corner. Craig Gentry now in the ball game, takes over in center field, and that means Josh Hamilton will move from center to left for the defensive half of the ninth inning.
Craig's nursing a sore ankle, but if he's in there for defense, it must be okay.
And Gentry turned that ankle in the Colorado series and was hampered on Sunday. He was able to start, but then had to leave early in the ball game after he aggravated it. Swing by Peralta, a pop fly to right center field. Gentry coming on. Craig there and makes the catch. And the Tigers are down to their last out. Alex Avila coming to the plate. Well, the 37-year-old Joe Nathan not pleasing Jim Leland at all, but his Joe Nathan skipper, Ron Washington. And Jackie Moore pretty happy on that Ranger bench. Gary Pettis joining in the fun. Joe Nathan trying to lock down his 17th save, the Rangers' 46th win of the season. Only Tigers standing in the way is Alex Avila, and this crowd is on its feet at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And strike one is in at the knees. Avila, a double in 3 trips tonight. He has scored a run. A double went to left center field, and the Ranger outfield. You get a look at Yu Darvish trying to get his 10th win. There's a swinging strike 2.
A little sharper today for Joe. He's coming back strong a day after that outing we talked about. Back to his normal pinpoint command.
Right on their feet. They are rooting Joe Nathan and the Rangers on. Yu Darvish 1 strike away from getting his 10th win of the year and joining Matt Harris in his 10-game winners on the Rangers staff. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. There's that hard curveball that Nathan throws. Yu Darvish worked the first 7 innings. Mike Adams gave up a run in the 8th, but that was it. And right now, Joe Nathan trying to close it out. The 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low, and we'll try it at 2-2. Nathan with that hard slider. His slider at times touches 90, and he buries that inside the left-handed hitter. Boy, he is really tough when he has that thing working. He just missed down and into Avila with that one. Nathan, a big sigh, and he's ready. Got him swinging. Nathan comes in, slams the door on the Tigers, and Yu Darvish is a 10-game winner. Joe Nathan, a 17-save closer. And the Rangers have split the first 2 games of this 3-game series with the Tigers. The final tonight, Rangers 7 and the Tigers 5. And Yu Darvish and now Matt Harrison, 10-game winners. All the Rangers as Darvish moves to 10-4. And Josh Hamilton with his 24th home run of the year. The Rangers collect 10 hits tonight. They double the hit total for the Tigers and get back on the winning track. We'll have a rubber game here tomorrow against the Detroit Tigers with Roy Oswalt going for the Rangers.
And after a couple of off-speed pitches, 95-mile-an-hour fastball that he's able to throw right by Avila. The same formula that Darvish used to strike him out in the 7th inning.
Joe Nathan, 17 out of 18 now. Big right-hander answering all the questions about his being able to come back from Tommy John surgery. He delights his manager, Ron Washington, and pitching coach